San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN, AM 1250 and 94.5 FM. Joe Reinagle, Jason Minix, The Blitz.
It is The Blitz here on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN, AM 1250, 94.5 FM. I'm Jason Minix. He is Joe Reinagle. It's a Friday, and we are live at Texas Cheer Liquor number 4 on Palo Alto Road in the appropriately named Patron Plaza. Yes, Patron Plaza. It would help, Edwin, if we turned his microphone on. Yeah.
Oh,
you got to push the right button.
So it's my fault.
Of course.
Well, hey, Jason, good
How's
afternoon.
your Friday?
Man, it is going great other than the technical stuff, but that's okay. We'll get that figured out. Hey, I tell you what, this is my first time in here. This place is cool. And you know what I found out?
What?
They have Blanton's here, and
They
they have samples of it, in fact, so you can come try it. It's the best whiskey there is.
Now,
trust me.
Here's the thing. You talk about technical issues. We're not doing streaming today on Facebook Live or on YouTube Live. Now, I'm going to blame technical stuff or Blanton's. One of the two, because one of us in a couple hours is going to be on a plane to Vegas.
Where are you going? You going to Vegas?
I am not. So one of us needs some samples.
Yes. Well, we can do that as we get closer, and maybe on my way out the door.
On your way out the door at whatever point. And, because there's free samples, Rudy J is going to be here.
Absolutely. I knew he would be here.
And again, it's not just the Blantons, but I know that's always the headliner, but lots of different bourbons that you can sample. Also some sake samples and moonshine samples.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I like that. It's interesting because I had a chance, Jason, to kind of tour the store here, and they've got some really cool stuff and stuff that you don't see anywhere else. First of all, the Blantons, I was impressed. I'll tell you that. But I mean, just all kinds of stuff here. This is a really cool place.
I got to, AD, do you have Mad Dog 2020 here? the other day we were talking, Reinagle was reminiscing about some Mad Dog days. Let's see if we can find some Mad Dog for Joe Reinagle. I think you need some Mad Dog samples before you get on the plane.
I'm a Boone's Farm guy.
Oh, Boone's Farm.
Yeah.
You got
Boone's
Strawberry
Farm.
Hill?
Strawberry Hill, yeah.
I don't remember Boone's Farm for the guys. I always thought that was for the ladies.
Well, when where I'm from, Jason, in Alice, Texas, you drank whatever you get your hands on, the easiest and the cheapest.
I totally get that, but it was the guys were getting Mad Dog, and you got the Strawberry Hill for the ladies, or the Bartles and James or Zimas.
You know what else? You know what else we used to drink with those little Schlitz malt liquor baby bulls? Remember those?
And Mickey's?
Yeah.
The big mouth Mickeys?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You didn't need many of those.
No.
So you drink one Mickey's and you were pretty much down for the count.
The high school years. It's funny because I saw earlier today, Michael Jimenez from Halftime posted something on Twitter. It was just like a graphic. Do you guys think you had a better childhood without cell phones, Facebook, and tablets that teens have today?
Yes.
I am glad we didn't have social media when I was growing up.
Dude, let me tell you something. The trouble that I would have gotten into, and here's the thing. When we left the house, your parents didn't know where you were going, what you were doing until you got home.
And I want to say they didn't care. But I'm sure they did.
I'm sure they did.
But I don't think they cared.
But now, the first time my kids got a cell phone, it's like, if I call you, you better answer that thing if you want to keep your phone, right? So I think it was much better without all that stuff.
I mean, even, my kid's 23, and I still have her location on my phone, right? I don't know where in Phoenix she is, but at least I know where she is. And when, and through high school and even through college, I mean, because she's done it since really middle school when she got her phone. She's going somewhere, she texts you that she's there.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine if my parents had the ability to know my location at all times. Now, I do wish we had cell phones back then because you're a little older than me, but I grew up with pagers.
Yeah.
And the rule was if my mom paged, he had about 10 minutes to call her back.
No, I didn't have a page.
And
no.
And so like on the pagers, I just remember what a pain in the ass to pull over, find a payphone, call mom, collect. And when they say your name, whatever message you need to tell her.
Wait a minute. You called your mother collect?
Well, that was the thing because, you had to pay for that.
Dude, it's a quarter.
Well, back then, though, gas was 79 cents.
I don't think it was a quarter.
No,
it was a dime.
You would call collect, and you'd call home, and I'm here. I'm at Brian's house. Or, we're at the mall. And she would just not accept, but she knew we made it to the mall. Or if you were supposed to be at the mall and you would tell her she was at the mall, she had no way of not knowing if you were lying.
No clue. And those were the days, too. You went outside, in the morning, and you came home when your mom was calling for you for dinner. And so you just had to be in earshot of being able to hear Mom. And back then, my mom was pretty loud, so I could be a long way away.
Yeah. I mean, my mom still is. And she would holler out the door, "Shopper," and you knew you better get there before Dad sat down at the table. I mean, that was kind of the issue. And then I got older and a little bit more rebellious. And I remember one Friday night, I was told to be home at 12. So I got home Sunday morning about 11:30, and I tried to explain it was before 12. That was not.
They never said what day.
They didn't. They said be home before 12, and I was.
Yeah.
They didn't say Friday at 12.
They didn't see it that way. I have a feeling
they did not. They did not.
And so you ended up in the Navy. I think, does that have something to do with that?
I got tired of walking. I decided to float around the world for a little while. I mean, about that time, it was not good. Yeah. Well,
I get that. And I got a lot of trouble. I used to skip school a lot in high school. And so, after a while, the principal and the assistant principal, I'll never forget. Quick story, and I won't bore you with any stories with Ryan Eagle, but me and a friend of mine, his name was Jeff McMurray, we would skip school and we'd go to the Alice Country Club, and we'd sit in the men's locker room and play gin.
Okay.
Well, one day, we're sitting there, it's about 10 o'clock in the morning, and the vice principal walks in. "Hi, boys. What are y'all doing here?" Both of us obviously pooped our pants, right? So that was the first thing. And it turned out that the golf pro had called the school and said, "Hey, you got a couple of guys here." And so we're in big trouble.
What a jerk. I remember the time I got busted hard for skipping too much school is, the orthodontist used to have the handwritten tablets of, get out of school cards, right? Well, I may have slipped a whole tablet of those into my bag leaving an appointment one time. So I would just show up and, I was at the dentist. I was at the dentist. Then the lady at the front desk of the school ran into my mom at the store. I want to say Piggly Wiggly. And, it was like, "Boy, is Jason okay? He's at the dentist all the time. I mean, it must be, is he okay?"
Root canals. Stuff.
My mom was like, "What?"
Those were the days, right? Those were the days.
Exactly. So, we are here at Texas Chair reminiscing, and you can get Joe some Boone's Farm tonight. He would appreciate it.
That would be nice.
Or Blanton's.
Yeah, and I mean, come on in and join us. Have a sample and look around this place. It's really kind of cool, and I'm really enjoying it. And the folks here are really nice. They're going to help you out with whatever you need. But I just like being out on remote. I think this is my second since I started with the radio station. We're at the Rue Pub. Now we're here. And so it's just kind of cool. You get a different vibe and a different energy.
And you get people that walk in, and a true story happened 10 minutes ago. It's 4:08. Yeah, literally about 10 minutes ago. Guy walks in and, "Hey, you're Joe Ryan-Eagle." My parents, I got to get a picture. My mom's going to be so excited. I've been watching you since I was a little kid.
Yeah, you didn't have to say that, but yeah, that's exactly what he said. And now that I feel like a grandpa, I guess I am. So what am I?
You are a grandpa.
What am I going to do? Right?
It's just, that guy had a head full of gray hair, and
I get that all the time, right? You be an HEB or something, a guy come up with his family and kids, and hey, I remember when you came out and to our high school football game, and I'm like, dude, please. I've been around a while.
I feel that when. And I the last couple years I've had this happen as calling high school football games. I am now broadcasting games of sons of players that I broadcasted games for. And nothing makes you feel older than a kid saying, My dad still plays the tape of you calling his game. And then our buddy Gary DeLon will say, well, wait till the great-grandkids say that to you. Because, he could say that. But, yeah, but that's cool. It just means we've been able to keep a job for a very long time.
That's right. We have. And that's, sometimes unusual in this business. That's for sure.
Well, and again, job security and broadcasting is a lot like coaching. And sometimes you just never know what a boss is thinking. And that's what's interesting about what's going on with the Dallas Cowboys. Jerry Jones woke up this morning and said, I want to go on the radio. So his office calls over to 105.3 The Fan and says, hey, do you guys want Jerry today at 10? And they said, well, hell yeah, we do. And then you get the pettiness of the Dallas media, guys like Ed Werder tweeting out, well, that's not fair. Why doesn't he have a press conference? As if the guys on The Fan aren't going to ask the right questions. But Jerry had a message that he wanted to get across and basically saying, Dan Quinn's going to be here for years, and Mike McCarthy is going to be here for years. All the speculation, you guys are idiots.
Exactly. He's making it like the media was making a big deal out of this whole thing, and he was like silent for a week, not saying anything. So
well, that was in his words competitive, and so and I appreciate the boys up there on The Fan. They were right out of the gate. Jerry, why did you want to call us this morning?
Well, I wanted to basically speak to Coach McCarthy, Mike. Wanted to speak to the exciting news of Dan Quinn, of course, joining us for some years to come as to joining us as our coordinator. And what I wanted to clear up was this was a competitive situation in my view. Dan Quinn was really being pursued as a potential head coach. And I've had two other occasions in my career where a coordinator was offered a head coaching job, and I got them not to accept it.
Huh.
One was with Sean Payton, and he was offered the job at the Raiders when Parcells was the head coach. I asked him to not take it and stay coordinating and see what happens with the future here at the Cowboys. And then I asked Jason Garrett to do the same thing, and he passed on the head coaching job as well.
St. Louis.
To stay here and be a part of the future of the Cowboys. And so I'd experienced seeing coaches turn down a head job for our situation. And so I really was trying hard, meeting with Dan Quinn. Mike, this is the thing I want to clear up. Mike was very involved in this process and very involved in trying to give us every chance to keep Dan Quinn. And there's no question it was a competitive situation, and I couldn't really get out and speak to it publicly because I didn't want to push teams toward him. And I wanted to keep him for ourselves and Dan, and that's what ended up happening. Mike and I worked together in a joint effort. That's what it's going to take this year. We did some things that I'm really proud of.
Ramble.
Well,
I didn't want to push him towards.
What does that mean?
He interviewed for a bunch of jobs. According to Jerry, he was offered at least a job, but turned it down. Now it's apparently Dan Quinn has signed a multi-year contract to remain defensive coordinator of the Dallas Cowboys. Did he money whip him? Now, keep in mind, Dan Quinn is still getting paid by the Atlanta Falcons. If he were to become a head coach somewhere else, Arthur Blank does not have to pay him that head coach money. So I don't know what Jerry gave him. How much more is a coordinator? Multi-year deal? Is there a wink line in there that says you'll be the next head coach when we fire Mike McCarthy? Although with the Sean Payton news, I don't know if Dan Quinn believes the ink on that. Is there an opportunity for you to become the head coach? I mean, there's legal ways to write that without being held to it if you're Jerry, but good for Jerry. You sold Dan Quinn and at the same time somehow convinced other people not to hire him. I don't get it, Jerry. Quit slapping yourself on the back.
Well, it begs the question, did he really? Or were there other candidates out there that some of these teams wanted besides Dan Quinn? I mean, obviously, we'll never know the answer to that question. Jerry can spin it any way he wants to and say, hey, I did this. He wanted to be a Dallas Cowboy. He wanted to stay here. And like I said yesterday, this is the best thing that could have happened to the Cowboys defense because they get that continuity of Dan Quinn. So for that defense, this is a great move and good news for them. But you just don't know because Jerry's the ultimate salesman.
Yes.
As you know. And so he's going to spin this as the Cowboys are the greatest organization on the planet, and everybody wants to be here, and that's why Dan Quinn wants to stay here.
I appreciate Dan Quinn staying as the defensive coordinator with what he was able to do this year. I'm not sure, just on a business level, you get a chance to be a head coach. Everybody's goal is to be a head coach.
Right.
He has said he'd like to be a head coach again. Timing, situation, all of that has to be there. You make your list of known hell versus unknown hell when you're trying to make a big decision and change jobs and all that. Jerry, hey, go interview for all these jobs, but before you sign something, before you say yes, come back and see me. The only thing Jerry can do is offer him more money and the opportunity to maybe one day be the head coach. Now, if the Giants say we're going to offer him a job, all you got to do if you're Jerry is say, look, I can match them nickel for nickel, but it's the Giants. You know you're going to get fired in 3 years. Here, I let Jason Garrett hang around for 10, right? I mean, I just can't imagine if your goal is to be a head coach, if you've got all these opportunities that you decided to stay as a number two. Unless those situations or the money wasn't right. Denver has a history of going with a lot of first-time coaches, head coaches, which tells me they don't have a massive budget for head coaches. They don't want to pay the head coach a lot of money.
I just don't think Dan Quinn was as attractive as we're being led to be as a head coach. Some guys are just better coordinators than they are head coaches, and that may be the case.
Again, he had a gazillion interviews. I put Kellen Moore in
so
that
does
category.
Josh McCown.
Well, that only the Texans, so that doesn't count, right?
Gosh.
I just look at Dan Quinn, and I've said I don't understand why he is such a hot commodity. Dude got fired in Atlanta, and the Cowboys defense was ranked 19th. I mean, they were number one in takeaways. They did a good job in points allowed, but overall, they went from crap to 19th, which it's not like he had a top 5 defense. So I'm with you, but the idea that you let Mike McCarthy for a week, you speculated because last week you would not commit to Mike McCarthy. And maybe what he's trying to say is I didn't commit to Mike McCarthy because I wanted those people to think, those other teams, that I won't let Dan Quinn leave. I'll fire Mark and make Dan Quinn the head coach, so don't offer him a job. I maybe in his mind, if that's what he was trying to get across. But he and Mike are in this plan together. You know, Mike was volunteering to get on that pole in that cold weather and twist in the wind because, you know, his job is safe, and Mike knew that.
The thing I want to clear up is that the idea of Mike being twisting in the wind just wasn't the case at all. We were sitting there trying to keep Dan Quinn and trying to maintain continuity on our coaching staff.
Yeah, but Mike was twisting in the wind, okay? And you know, Jerry is kind of putting that off on the media, right? Like the media made a big deal out of nothing, right? And look, I'm not saying that we never do that because we do. There are times when we do that, but in this case, how could you take it any other way? When Jerry, after that ball game, when the Cowboys were beaten by the 49ers, said nothing to give his coach confidence or give anybody else that was listening to that thing any confidence that Mike McCarthy was the guy. Then you radio silent for a week without saying a word. The only thing we heard from was from Mike McCarthy saying, you know, I've talked to Jerry. It was a positive interview and everything was okay. But Jerry never said anything. And then you get the Sean Payton news, which made that wind blow a lot harder for Mike McCarthy to twist in.
It did. And again, if you didn't want your head coach to twist in the wind, before Dan Quinn goes on all these interviews, doesn't Jerry have the conversation with Dan Quinn and say, save your time. You don't need to spend time interviewing for a job. Here's the money. Here's the role. Here's what it is. And if Mike McCarthy was on board, I just don't, the competitive advantage that he kept talking about is kind of lost on me the way they handled it. You know, it's like Kellen Moore. You know, he says he wants Kellen Moore back, but he doesn't expect Kellen Moore to get a job. Well, I mean, wouldn't it be the same thing if that's the coordinator that you wanted to keep? I mean, he keeps saying that. I just don't know with Dan Quinn. I can't see it. Go talk to him. See what the offer is. Come and see me before that happens.
I mean, is that like a recruiting trip? He wants Dan Quinn to get a couple of steak dinners in the meantime and smooze with some guys and get a few free drinks and, just have a good time. Go have a good time, Dan.
I mean, according to Jerry, and Jerry would never lie to us, although he did say today he misled us all because it was competitive. According to Jerry, Dan Quinn was offered at least one job. And at one point in the interview, it sounded like Jerry said he might have been offered 2 jobs. But Jerry, the master salesman, convinced him that being defensive coordinator of the Dallas Cowboys is a better job than being a head coach of the team that offered you.
I believe that very much. I know this. He is staying and being our coordinator for years to come.
Years.
And so I know that he was the busiest coordinator out here being interviewed for jobs. And yes, I would say that specifically. It's a real compliment to Mike. It's a compliment to us. It's a compliment to the organization. These are good jobs here with the Cowboys.
Yeah, that's a good job with the Cowboys. And, he's such a hot commodity, even though you say years to come. If they have another good year, isn't he going to be on the job interview search next year?
Well, of course he is. And if they have a good year and the defense gets even better than that, teams are going to be calling regardless of what kind of contract Jerry signed him to today or the extension. So, Jerry's a salesman, and you just got to take all of that with a grain of salt. But you can't tell me, because anybody that's in any business wants to get to that top rung.
Is he, Dan Quinn, the coach in waiting? Is he the replacement of Mike McCarthy? Is that a done deal?
Man, we're in a competitive situation for key personnel, key coaches here that I didn't want to be over here pushing and talking about how good they were, how good they weren't, where we are. All that's read like a fine-tooth comb with your competition. That's other teams trying to get your staff.
I'm just glad to know that all those owners are, we don't pay attention to the media, but we read and hear everything that is said out there.
That's absolutely right. And the Cowboys have the best assistants around. Everybody wants them to be their next head coach. And nothing against Dan Quinn. He did a pretty good job in Atlanta. He had a lot of talent with that football team. Got him to the Super Bowl. Everybody knows they blew the big lead to Tom Brady. But I just am not sure that Dan Quinn was the guy that everybody had penciled in to be the next head coach of that particular team. And I just don't buy it. So, I'm glad he's staying. It's good for the Cowboys.
And it sounds like Kellen Moore isn't going to get a job, so he's staying. I don't know how many of you are glad that Kellen Moore is staying as the offensive coordinator. And, the love affair with Lil Kellen Moore certainly took a turn.
It sure did. I mean, he was Wonder Boy for the first half of the season, and then he was the GOAT, and I don't mean that in a good way, the second half of the season.
Well, I look at, if I'm Mike McCarthy and I know I'm on the hot seat, and you realize you've got a Sean Payton that's out there, and you have Dan Quinn on your staff that Jerry loves and is the guy, man. Everybody wants him, right? If I'm Mike McCarthy and I'm the offensive guru that I am, which is why you have the job that you have, I'm going to take over that offense because Kellen Moore, while they were the number 1 ranked offense and all that kind of stuff, it lacked. Jerry was asked on 105.3 The Fan this morning if Mike McCarthy will be more involved with the offense, even if Kellen Moore is back as the OC.
No question.
All right, let's stop right there. No question. I mean, absolutely. We've identified a problem. Offense, we love Kellen. We think he's great. He's not ready to drive by himself yet.
No question that we're going to attempt hard and use everything that Mike has got in his background experience to help us on every part of this football team. And obviously, we didn't get past the first round, and we need to address a lot of areas. And so to answer your question, heck yeah, he'll be involved in the minutia, or he'll be involved in every way we can to improve any part of our team. And I say that deliberately because he is the head coach. And That's what he do.
That's what he do.
That's what he do. You know, I said this a week ago, right? I said this a week ago. We'll talk more about it, but I'm telling you, I said it a week ago. McCarthy needs to take over the offensive play calling.
And if not play calling, appear to be more involved in the offense.
The play calling. He needs to take over.
He's talked about how tough that is.
I don't care what he said.
I don't know. And that's a debate that we'll have throughout the offseason. But, you know, he has talked about how much better he is at his job that he's not calling plays. And I don't know.
Really?
Yes. That's why I don't know that I want him to take over play calling. Be there a little bit more, maybe with the installation. Have your headset on and be ready to change something if you don't like what you're hearing. But, you know, he has a hard enough time with time management now, and that's his only focus. Imagine if it was only 20% of his focus because he was trying to figure out what was going to be next. More on that as we continue. Spurs with the big game tonight as well. We'll get into all that as we're live here at Texas Cheer Liquor Store number 4 down on Palo Alto Road to get your Friday started. You know, if you're having issues in your garage that, you know, you just need help with the organization, you're having trouble getting both cars in and all the stuff that goes in there, you've got just a lot of stuff in your garage, but you don't want to get rid of it. You need an organization solution. Call Garageization. I did, and they're fantastic. Their team came out to the house, discussed several options, what my budget was, and we came up with a solution for me, which were these industrial shelves that are 6 feet long each. And what's great is, you know, it's a shelf, so you've got your long-term storage underneath, but they've got all these adjustable bars underneath that you can hang stuff from, so you get the versatility, using all that space below the shelf as well. If you need to organize your garage, call Garageization at 210-664-4494. You can talk to them about shelves, overhead racks, closed storage, slat walls, and more. Make your garage functional for the entire family. Get both cars in, the kids' bikes, your golf clubs, all your coolers, your tools, everything in there. Garageization can make it happen for you. Since 2008, the veteran-owned Garageization has been helping San Antonians love their garage. Call them. They will give you a customized plan for your garage. Start at their website, garageorganizationsanantonio.com. That's garageorganizationsanantonio.com.
We've got a family reunion taking place at the AT&T Center tonight. We'll talk about that right after this Sports Center update.
Thank you, Joe. The Spurs, the Austin Spurs to be specific, picked up a win last night against the Sioux Falls Skyforce, 119-97. Spurs on assignment were Josh Primo and Zach Collins. Primo had 14 of his 20 points in the fourth quarter when he went 3 for 3 from deep in the final frame, while Zach Collins posted 15 points and 18 rebounds with 2 blocks. The Austin Spurs will be back in action Sunday against the Warriors affiliate, the Santa Cruz Warriors, at 5 o'clock on the G League app. I'll be on the call with Lincoln Rose. The San Antonio Spurs tip off tonight at 7:30 and host the Chicago Bulls. This marks the first time that DeMar DeRozan returns to San Antonio after 3 years with the Silver and Black. For San Antonio Sports Star, I'm Carl Schoening.
Before we rodeo San Antonio, mosey on over to Dietz Tractor. We're busting out of the chutes early with a stock full of LS tractors. And this is no 8-second ride. Take your time and choose from a field that includes compact and utility tractors at low, low prices. Excel in your field with LS Tractor, 7-time winner of the EDA Dealer's Choice Award. Backed by a limited 6-year warranty, LS Tractors will give you more standard features and more performance for less money. These are some of the hottest tractors around, and Dietz Tractor wants to sell them to you today at unbelievable prices. Dietz Tractor, where you get more tractor for less.
Did the guy driving the 18-wheeler which wrecked into you focus too much on looking at himself in the mirror and not the road in front of him? His hair is still a mess, and now you're seriously hurt. If you or a loved one is hurt in a wreck with an 18-wheeler or company vehicle, don't call just any dude. Call the dude, the personal injury dude. Mark Poling at Poling Law PLLC at pidude.com. That's pidude.com. Or call 210-201-0303, 24 hours a day.
Guys, did you know that starting around age 30, men's testosterone levels can decline naturally? As a result, you may experience low energy, lack of focus, problems in the bedroom, or even depression. If that's you, then it's time to rethink your health. The solution? Testosterone replacement therapy with Synergenics. It's easy. Just take the test at one of our clinics in the San Antonio area. For more info and to schedule an appointment, head over to 800lowt.com today and get your life back.
Exergen would like you to know about an important new study by the FDA. It confirms what the medical community has always known. Non-contact thermometers are not accurate, and they fail to meet FDA requirements for accuracy in labeling. With new strains of COVID on the rise, we can't afford to tolerate rampant false temperature readings from non-contact thermometers. Accurate temperature measurements are essential. You need Exergen thermometers because they are accurate and backed by over 100 clinical studies. Be sure, be accurate with Exergen. Learn more at Exergen.com.
Guys, stop what you're doing. Give me a few seconds of your time and let me give you a piece of advice that will change your love life forever. Have you noticed you've been losing a little pep in your step? Has your lady friend asked you, is everything okay? Do you find yourself having trouble rising for the occasion? Do you stress out before that special moment and wonder, is it gonna work? Guys, I'm going to let you in on a big secret. You don't ever have to worry again. The Mojo Male Enhancement Formula has you covered. Mojo is the 100% guaranteed male enhancement formula that guarantees lasting success, if you know what I mean. The Mojo Male Enhancement Formula is safe, natural, and effective every single time, guaranteed. Mojo is available in a fast-acting spray and a quick-action capsule. Do yourself and her a favor and call Pure Line Nutrition in San Antonio today. They'll get you set up for success. Call 210-494-2210. That number again is 210-494-2210. Mojo Male Enhancement, only available at Pure Line Nutrition.
If your family depends on your income and something happened to you, what would happen to them? You need life insurance, and SelectQuote can help you get it at a price you can afford.
SelectQuote found Jacob, 40, who's in excellent health, a 10-year, $500,000 policy for only $19 a month.
Not in perfect health? Don't worry.
SelectQuote found Tanya, 40, who has type 2 diabetes, a 10-year, $500,000 policy for only $32 a month.
We shop companies like Protective, Prudential, American General, and others to find you the company with the best rates. Give your family the security they need at a price you can afford.
For your free quote, call 1-800-885-5959. That's 1-800-885-5959. Or go to SelectQuote.com. That's 1-800-885-5959.
SelectQuote. We shop, you save.
Get full details on the example policies at selectquote.com/commercials. Your premium could vary depending on your health, issuing company, and other factors. Not available in all states.
We're full of it. Opinions, that is.
You guys are way too cocky.
San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM.
And it's a good Friday.
It sure is.
Yeah, it's a great Friday. Because we're at Texas Cheer Liquor, number 4 over on Palo Alto Road. You know you're going. It's the weekend, right? You know you're going to go by the liquor store. Come see us here at Texas Cheer Liquor.
Because there's free samples over here. And I tell you what, we got a very beautiful young lady over here who's mixing up sake with margarita mix.
Uh-huh.
And just having a good time, too. She was telling me all about that, Jay. I didn't know you could mix sake with margarita mix, or you said any fruit juice, right?
Really?
So, yeah, she'll make you whatever you want.
That'll work.
Yeah.
I mean, not that we've had any samples yet.
No, we haven't. We haven't. And everybody can attest to that. Although we have been offered.
Yes.
But our willpower has been strong.
Yeah. You know. Yeah, sure. Is that what we're going with?
That's what we're going with. But anybody else that wants to come in and see us, talk a little sports, have a nice sake margarita or whatever else you want.
And then some Blantons and some other bourbons. And, you know, a lot of times, because we do these once a month, just so you know.
Oh, well,
I know
good.
you're new. Yeah,
That's awesome.
We do these once a month, which is fantastic.
Yes.
Right? Generally, there's a couple different things that we're going to sample. I don't know how many bottles that they brought out, but there's a lot.
There's a lot.
There's a wide variety.
Very generous
of
today,
sampling.
that's for sure.
And it's just dangerous because where we're set up, we're like arm's length of the Fireball.
Yep, we've got
and some
vodka
and
Buffalo
everything
Trace
else.
whiskey is right there.
Then again, we are at Texas Cheer. We're with the arm's reach of a lot of stuff.
Everything, right?
I mean,
I just have to get up.
Although,
get it.
For me, being that close to Fireball is very dangerous.
You're a Fireball guy.
I think I try to say I'm not. I've tried to quit Fireball. It won't quit me. I tell people, no Fireball. And then, all of a sudden it's in front of you. And my friends know me well. For Christmas, I think I was given 7 bottles of Fireball.
Nice.
Over the holidays. You open up my freezer and, well, it kind of looks like I've, stocking Texas Cheer.
You notice that when I was at your house, you didn't offer any of that. Well, I'm wondering why. If you got all this for Christmas and all I got was beer.
Well, if you didn't notice, along that one counter was basically everything you needed. There's beer here and there's drinks up beers in the coolers outside. There's drinks over here.
Jason,
I mean,
if you come to my house, I'm going to say, hey, Jason, I got beer there. Look at all this. I got some Basil Hayden up there. I got vodka over here. I got this over there. You got to be a better host.
Somehow between the empty bottle of tequila that I picked up at the last time we were out here, and I forget what AD told me to get, but that was an empty bottle, so it went over extremely well. There was an empty bottle of Dripping Springs vodka, and an empty bottle of Fireball. So I don't know what the hell your problem was.
I don't know either.
Everybody else was able to find what they wanted. In fact, Rudy keeps a bottle of Crown at my house that he probably needs to restock pretty soon. So he found, and Rudy actually, because I've got a bottle of Crown, and then there's Rudy's bottle of Crown that he hides somewhere else away from my liquor cabinet.
Well, why does he do that? Because you don't offer him yours?
No, because he's Rudy. No, I just that's just Rudy.
See, when Rudy gets here, I'm going to ask him because I'm kind of thinking you're a little stingy with your alcohol.
Dude, I am not. I think Rudy brought the bottle, and when you bring a bottle, you leave a bottle, kind of thing.
I guess
he just didn't want somebody else drinking out of it because that was Rudy's bottle. And you understand, Rudy, that doesn't surprise you.
Well, you can restock here before you leave, so the next time I come to your house, there will be stuff there.
There's going to be a bottle of Blanton's because you can get Blanton's here, although not necessarily today, but they're going to get a new shipment on Wednesday. But you can try it.
And if you've never tried it, you need to, because in my opinion, it's the best. It's hard to find, but you can find it here at Texas Cheer Liquor.
Coming up, we'll talk to the owner, 80, saying about the bourbon craze and the bottles and how hard they are to get. And that's kind of, I'm going to get some because I want some.
I am too.
Although
we've already ordered our bottles.
It's an investment.
Yes, it is. But it's delicious. It's worth it.
Is.
Treat yourself.
I wonder if Pop is going to go for Blanton's tonight or if he's going to go with his traditional wine as he celebrates his 73rd birthday.
73 years old today. Greg Popovich, happy birthday, Coach Pop. And, he'd like a win tonight over this Chicago Bulls team that is really good. And they're playing well. And the guy that used to be a San Antonio Spur is playing really well. And, of course, that's DeMar DeRozan. He's back, and I'm sure he'll get one of those nice tribute videos tonight on the big screen.
I just look at this stretch coming up for the San Antonio Spurs. Over the next 7 nights, they're going to play the top teams in the NBA with Chicago, Phoenix, Golden State, and Miami. It looks like a bad – and all those teams are playing well right now.
Yeah.
This is going to be a rough stretch.
Could be a rough stretch, or you could look at it as a confidence booster, Jason, if they get a couple of wins. Only one of those games is on the road, by the way.
I would take a win, 1-3 over the next 4 against those teams. I would be happy with that because they're staring 0-4 and ugly, like an ugly 0-4. It's like they just played that a really good game against Memphis.
Yeah.
They just didn't have enough down the stretch. And I know Spurs fans are going to bitch about the officiating and Morant getting all the calls and all that kind of stuff. They were right there. They had opportunities. They made mistakes down the stretch that cost them the game.
Absolutely. That's a good joke that you can make. What do the Spurs and the Dallas Cowboys have in common?
Oh, the number of trophies in the case.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, 5.
Okay. The Cowboys are a little light, aren't they?
No, they got 5.
They do have 5.
They
That's
have 5.
true. That's nice.
Yeah. I mean,
I forgot. It's just
been
I think I was
26
like
years
2
since they've added to the trophy
I think it was
case.
2 years old the last time they won a championship.
You were not 2 years old, but there are a lot of people out there that weren't born yet. In fact, their last Super Bowl win happened 26 years ago today.
That's incredible.
Super Bowl 30.
Yeah.
I was
that's
3.
Incredible.
Bite me, Carl. By the way, Carl Schoening producing today.
Wow. Where did that come from?
I know.
You said you were 2, Joe. I just wanted to, say I was 3, just for the record.
I always knew you were older than I am,
Well,
Carl.
he's got an old soul, that is for sure.
Yeah, he does.
Although he doesn't act old today. He spent 6 hours playing Pokemon on Twitch.
The Switch, not Twitch.
Switch.
The
Switch. I don't know what the hell any of that is.
I have no
I don't know
clue
why
what
a
that
grown
is.
man is playing Pokemon either. For 6 hours. You have a job and a girlfriend. I can't believe you have 6 hours in a day to play a video game.
I woke up early.
I don't.
You woke up early.
Again, you have a job, you have a girlfriend. I just, the people that I think that have 6 hours to play video game are missing one of those 2 key ingredients.
Carl, you need to work on your comedy routine in that stretch.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's all right. I'll pass. I'm better on air and being straight. Just a good old straight-face broadcaster. The ball's passed over to Murray. He makes the 3.
There you
okay.
go.
All right.
Throw in
Nice.
some fun Pokemon lingo.
Is there lingo in Pokemon?
I'm going to guess there is. It'd just be a foreign language if I heard it, and I'm guessing the same for you. But you look at this Spurs team, and, I know, listening to Jimenez when I was driving over here to Texas here earlier, talking about, the all-star starters, and, of course, no Spurs there.
Yep.
Will DeJounte make the all-star team? And I would like to think the coaches are going to put him in there, but, there's some guys that you go, you're going to go Spider, you're going to go DeJounte. If they went Spider, I don't know if I could be mad. CP3, at his age, lifetime achievement. They'll look at, CP3 is running out of time. DeJounte has plenty of time to get there. There's always that one old player that seems to always get invited. Now that probably was CP3 last year, and his numbers are better this year. You look at Devin Booker. I'd go Devin Booker over DeJounte.
What's a shame for DeJounte Murray is if the Spurs were winning or if they had a better record, he would probably be considered. That's unfortunate. It shouldn't be that way because he's playing as well as he's playing on a team that isn't winning ball games. Ernie Johnson last night on TNT gave DeJounte Murray some kudos, saying that he should be selected as an all-star, or he's a guy that certainly they should look at to put on that roster. So I thought that was cool, and it's cool that, he throws that out there. Obviously, they've got a big national audience during NBA basketball games, and so I thought that was kind of cool, and then Kenny Smith didn't argue with him. So that was cool. He got a little national pub last night on TNT.
Which is good, although at the same time, when you start thinking about the trade rumors heating up, stealing a line from Jerry Jones. Do we really want that? Do you really want that kind of attention right now on DeJounte Murray?
Well, it depends. You would have to get a big haul for him, right? You're not gonna trade him for a ham sandwich. You've got to have something good for him. So I don't think he goes anywhere. However, Derek White, there's that possibility. He could. I still like that Atlanta Hawks deal for John Collins.
I do too, as long as that's a protected pick.
Oh my God.
That's exactly what it needs to be. All right. We're here at Texas Cheer Liquor number 4. Palo Alto Road. Google it, you'll get here. We're sampling Blanton's. I've had 3 different friends and a couple of direct messages wanting to know about the Blanton's.
Yeah.
We're going to get to the bottom of Blanton's and why it is, and not just Blanton's, all bourbons have become so rare. A.D. Singh is going to join us in a couple of minutes. We will make our picks in the 5 o'clock hour for the conference championship games. Jon Machota from the Athletic will join us at 5:30. It is the weekend. You have your weekend plans, and I know none of you plan on getting arrested, but some of you will. Maybe it's not you, but you get a phone call from a family member or a friend that they were arrested. You want to get out of jail fast. Best way to do that is to call my good friend Albert and his great staff at AA Best Bail Bonds. 210-225-2121 is the phone number. You can text the word bail to 474747. or even start the bonding process online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else to get out of jail, and you don't want to be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you a PR bond, make sure you truly understand what those conditions are before accepting it. Your best option for stress-free bail bonds is AA Best Bail Bonds because nobody beats their price. They have payment plans available, offer a free shuttle service. They're discreet and confidential and open 24/7 with offices all over San Antonio and Texas, services nationwide. So if you're up in Dallas, down in the Valley, and Corpus, anywhere in between, license number 149, call AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121, or online at mybestbailbonds.com.
Ribs, burgers, chicken. Submit what you cooked on the grill or smoker, and you can win a $50 gift card from Tri-County Meat Market. Grilling with the Blitz. Online at sasportstar.com.
Yes, Ms. Tubbs. No problem. I'll call someone about the plumbing.
One of Beatrice's properties needs a new superintendent.
The custodial team is not
Someone with handyman superpowers and a concierge alter ego.
Does anyone know any good electricians near Parkville?
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Instant Match instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your sponsored job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Jackson Hewitt needs you to know 3 things about filing taxes this year. 1, there are thousands of dollars worth of new tax credits on the table. 2, you have to file for them to make sure you get the right amount. 3, a Jackson Hewitt Tax Pro will help track down every credit you deserve. Tax credits for being a parent, taking care of a parent, going to school, and so much more. You don't want to miss out on thousands. Jackson Hewitt knows that. Discover thousands in tax credits and get your biggest refund guaranteed. Learn more at jacksonhewitt.com.
Why does Walgreens offer copays as low as $0 and 90-day refills? Because we care about Medicare, so you don't have to. I mean, do you really care to hear me go on about same-day prescription delivery making your life easier? Or how there's a pharmacy expert available 24/7 and one-click refills? Well, I just did anyways. Fill your Medicare prescriptions with Walgreens and save.
$0 copays apply to Tier 1 generic drugs and select plans with Walgreens as a preferred pharmacy. Restrictions apply. See walgreens.com/Medicare for complete details.
70% of the Fortune 100 choose Zoom. With phone, chat, workspaces, apps, events, and video in a single platform, Zoom powers all your communications. Large enterprises, small businesses, and individuals use the secure Zoom platform to enable new ways of working, learning, hosting events, and supporting their customers. And now you can save 15% on meetings, chat, and phone with the Zoom United bundle. Visit zoom.com/bundle. Zoom, how the world connects.
Happy hour is back at Twin Peaks, and we're offering up more than just great drinks. Score yourself some chips and salsa for just $2. Your choice of mozzarella cheese bites, chips and queso, or fried pickles, where they're just $4. And the triple play quesadillas or 6 boneless wings, that's right, only $6. Each of these epic appetizers are craveable, shareable, and delicious. And what a deal. Happy hour at Twin Peaks just got better. See you Monday through Friday, 2 to 7 p.m. Again at late night. Get to Twin Peaks, eats, drinks, and those scenic views. A great meal starts with great meat. Rob Thompson here for Tri-County Meat Market. They're locally owned and full service. Tri-County has carefully selected certified prime Angus beef cuts, Wagyu, upper choice. Tri-County has everything you need for your grilling game, from beef, chicken, pork, fajitas, poppers, and more. Don't forget to stock up on their 5 for $25. Tri-County Meat Market on Huebner, on Ralph Fair. Head over, first responders, you get 10% off. That's Tri-County Meat Market.
Pride.
Hey, listen up.
Tradition.
Let's keep it going.
Football.
Hold on.
The NFL playoff picture is coming together. Hear it unfold on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM.
Hey, this is Rob Thompson on your home for Rangers baseball. San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM.
It is the Blitz here on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250, 94.5 FM. Next week, we'll be on 103.3 FM, so get ready to adjust your presets next week.
What Tuesday. Is that? Tuesday, right?
Tuesday,
February 1st.
That's what they tell us.
Wow.
That's what they tell us.
All I hear is Greg Shelton's, it's a bigger stick.
It is a bigger stick.
I mean, what does that mean? Is it taller? It is taller?
It's a taller stick.
Okay, so it is a bigger stick.
And Depending on where you live, you might be able to hear us better. And I will sound taller on 103.3.
Really?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I mean, I sound taller on 94.5 than I do AM 1250.
Now,
and AM 1250 is staying there.
Who judges that whether you sound taller or not?
I do. It makes me feel better.
So FM, I listen a lot when I'm not on the radio to 1250 AM. Right? But Maggie, my wife, she likes it better the way it sounds on the FM.
Well, I mean, you sound a little bit more bassier.
Is that what it is?
It is. And since that's your wife, I think she would like you to have a little bit more
more
voice.
manly voice. Is that what you're saying? Yeah.
As opposed. But again, though, I mean, it is. I mean, we're, next month, February, the station will be 14 years old, right? As we celebrate our 14th birthday. Plans are in the works. Big party at Rue Pub. Well, details coming soon.
Oh,
right?
really?
Absolutely.
Oh, nice.
You probably got a calendar invite today.
Okay.
But, we do a big birthday party because why not? We'll always have cool prizes, that sort of stuff. But those that were with us in the beginning back in 2008 on AM 1250, a lot of them, you're one. It's the idea of listening to talk radio on the FM is just not where they go to find radio.
That's right.
Like talk radio is on the AM.
Yeah.
Younger people tend to find us more on the FM.
Okay.
Right.
All right.
That's
I guess
it's a bigger stick.
It's a bigger stick.
It's about double the power. So in other words,
I'm learning this radio lingo.
The idea, there's times of the year, the atmosphere, all this kind of engineering, blah, blah. There's times where you might be listening to us, and as you're driving down the road, now all of a sudden you hear 94.5 The Buzz, which is a great rock station in Houston. And then as you keep driving, we come back. And then, so I mean, that kind of stuff won't happen on 103.3.
It won't happen because that's the bigger stick.
Well, I mean, that's what Greg Shelton has told me.
Okay.
If it does happen, just blame Shelton.
Well,
and I can promise you, it won't be 94.5 The Buzz in Houston bleeding into us on 103.3. It won't be that. I mean, I don't know if there's another 103.3 close.
Well, I'm going to have to listen then on the FM once we go to the bigger stick and see if indeed you do sound taller, number one, and if it sounds better.
It will sound better.
Okay.
It's certainly better than it does on AM 1250.
Okay.
I mean,
Well, I always thought it sounded pretty good on AM 1250.
Well, absolutely.
It's not bad.
No, it's not bad, but and again, for younger people that don't even know that there's an AM, like, oh, that's where my grandpa goes. That's why you're available. But there are some people that just always forget the FM, and it's 1250, which is fine as long as you find us.
Well, exactly, and I hope they do, and hope they enjoy the show. So that's good. And if you sound taller with a bigger stick, then they'll probably find us.
That's exactly what it is.
Is that what it is?
It's all about range. I just got an email, and it's an email from AccuWeather. Right?
Okay, yeah.
There is this blizzard hitting the Northeast this weekend, right?
Okay.
Now, this advisory talks about 2 to 4 inches of snow an hour. I saw something on Twitter a little while ago that says they're expecting between 2 and 20 inches. What the hell does that mean? Between 2 and 20 inches? I mean, that's like going to the bar. I'm only going to have 1 or 2, and 8 hours later, you've
had 20.
Exactly. I'm only going to have 1 or 2, but it could be 20. I don't know.
Those are weather guys covering their behind is what it is, right? That's exactly what it is. When they tell you listen to Bill Taylor, and he tells you there's a 30% chance. Well, what the hell does that mean? Does that mean that is it 30% for me where I'm at, or is it where 30% where that guy's at, like 10 miles across town?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what does it mean?
Weather guys are like batters in baseball. If you're hitting 300 in baseball, you're considered damn good at your job.
Right.
But that also means you fail about 70% of the time you're at the plate, right? I mean, is there another job out there where if you're forecasting things, and, Bill Taylor and, with the computer model, they're all very good, right?
Sure, they are. Absolutely.
But it's really hard to predict Mother Nature. It's hard to predict any female, let alone Mother Nature.
Absolutely. You know, I give Bill a hard time, but he does a pretty good job. Don't tell him I said that, but he does a pretty good job. And most of the time those guys are right. It's it's funny because I'll question him sometimes. I said, "Man, Bill, it really rained last night." He goes, "Yeah, man, I didn't even see that one coming." Yeah. I mean, so he won't admit it to anybody else, but he'll tell me, and now I just admitted it to everybody. But,
well, I mean, it's just that stray shower that came out of nowhere.
It's exactly right. Man, that really caught me off guard. At least he can admit that, and I give him credit for that. So, and he always tells me, he says, "Well, I predict things. Why don't you?" And I do. I say I do predict things. And in fact, we're going to do that a little bit later in the show, I think.
Well, you think about the idea of the conference championship games and predicting. Now, he uses various models and computers and whatever.
Right. Right.
You're going on your gut with a 50-50 shot, right? And it's interesting. Do you watch Real Sports on HBO?
Sometimes.
The one that just came out, and I watched it last night, so I guess it probably dropped over the weekend. It shows up in the DVR as new, and so I'm watching it. And I thought it was interesting. They did a great feature on sports gambling, where for years it was such a no-no. And now you've got arenas with casinos in them.
Sure.
Every sports team and league has a gambling sponsor. And, of course, they tell the story about a guy who – and I don't know how you bet $25,000 on the Padres 2 nights in a row and lose and live with yourself. But there's those guys that are out there, right? And, you have to be responsible for yourself. But part of the angle is, as a league, are you – worried that if somebody really has it bad, you're going to be sued because you enabled this? And I thought, well, that's kind of an interesting angle to take because it is gambling. And what the other part that I thought was interesting, where the owner of the Washington Capitals and Wizards was talking about how they're not worried about games getting thrown at this point because there's so much money at stake. Where back in the day, guys didn't make a lot, so an extra $10,000 to miss a free throw was worth it. Now it's not.
Well, remember, it used to be taboo for any professional team to even think about playing in Las Vegas.
Yep.
And now we've got a hockey team there. You got an NFL football team there. I know they're trying to put an NBA team there as well. So, and Texas needs to get on board.
Yes.
All right. I mean, seriously, sports gambling should be legal everywhere. It's ridiculous that it's not. And Texas, I know we're a little slower when it comes to stuff like that, but sports gambling needs to be made legal.
Amen.
And soon.
As crazy as it sounds, I think we'll have legal weed before we get legal sports gambling. I was talking to one high politician, and he was saying that there's a plan where there would be like one major casino in the San Antonio area, one in the Dallas area, one in the Houston area, and do it that way as opposed to open it up to where you could have a bunch of casinos on the Riverwalk. They don't want that. I'm fine. Whatever.
I'm fine with that too.
Whatever it takes, but there is so much money, lobby groups that spend a lot of money in the state of Texas to keep Texas from passing legal gambling. You look at Oklahoma and Louisiana, Nevada, all those places. They don't want it because we travel.
Absolutely.
And so it's for those politicians that might be receiving some of that lobby money. Well, let's see. Yeah, we don't need that.
But it's not just that, just sports gambling. Can you imagine going out to Retama Park? You're able to bet on the horses, and then you got a room in there with all these screens on there. You can bet on football games, baseball, hockey, whatever you want. Man, it would be so much fun to do, or just a place like that here in San Antonio. It would be a blast.
I'm there, or, where you could, things set up at all the different bars. You're watching the game and game betting and all the stuff. And, there's a reason why the ratings for all the games are still there, even on a bad game, because your in-game betting keeps you interested in the game.
That's exactly right. It's that fantasy football, right?
That's it, which is like in-game
like
betting.
Gambling, yes.
It's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. A very interesting episode of Real Sports. We talk about picking games. AFC, NFC championship games are this weekend. We'll make our picks as we continue here on the Blitz. Now, you think about those games, no better place to get in and watch them this weekend than at the Rue Pub, 281 in Redland Road. They've got those 3 massive 170-inch screens, TVs all around. Spurs playing tonight. You've got football on Sunday. And when you get over to the Roo Pub, go hungry. I've said many times, not only is it a great bar, but it's a great restaurant. The food at the Roo Pub is fantastic, all made from scratch. They have the biggest and the best wings in town, about 15 different burgers on the menu, great salads, great apps, and the kitchen is open late till 2 a.m. every day with the full menu available. And, of course, Roo Pub, they've got all the beers. They've got the full bar. The game room has the best arts area in town and indoor cornhole. Weekday happy hours from 11 to 6. The Roo Pub, great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and certainly the best place to watch the game. The Roo Pub next to the Angry Elephant, 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
Exciting changes ahead on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM. On February 1st, you'll need to retune your radio to 1250 AM and 103.3 FM. Same great programming, stronger signal. We think. Probably not.
And now an important message from Exergen. A critical new FDA study proves that non-contact thermometers are not accurate. They also have inaccurate information on their labels regarding accuracy. New COVID strains are on the rise, and non-contact manufacturers are being irresponsible at a time when accuracy matters. Accurate temperature measurements are essential. Switch to Exergen because they are accurate and backed by over 100 clinical studies. Be sure, be accurate with Exergen. Learn more at Exergen.com.
BetOnline.net has you covered this season with more props, odds, and lines than ever before as football continues its march through the playoffs, right up to the big game in a couple of weeks. BetOnline.net remains the best spot for all your sports scores, podcasts, and news this season. And it's not just football. BetOnline.net has up-to-the-minute info on pro and college hoops, NHL, boxing, UFC, along with live, real-time updates of current games. Don't wait to take advantage of all the new, amazing offers available for the 2022 season. BetOnline.net, where the game starts.
The Roo Pub is the best place to watch a game. Football, basketball, the big fights, they have them on at the Roo on their 3 massive 170-inch laser screens and TVs all around. Come hungry, the food is fantastic, and the kitchen is open until 2 a.m. every day with the full menu available. The Roo Pub has the best darts area in town, indoor cornhole, and weekday happy hour from 11 to 6. For lunch, dinner, or late at night, and the best place to watch a game, get into the Roo Pub at 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
Are you one of the millions of homeowners who haven't refinanced yet? If so, I'm here to tell you it's not too late. Hi, I'm Wesley Hogan with Westland Financial. Although the lowest rates may be in our rearview mirror, as the economy recovers from the biggest economic shock of our lifetime, rates still remain near historic lows. In fact, with the dramatic increase in home values, this may be the perfect time to put that new home equity to work. Take advantage of our cash out refi program and pay off high rate credit cards, car loans, or other high interest rate debt. Or finally make those home improvements you put on hold for so long. Best of all, we can do this with no closing costs. That's right. Whether it's a conventional, FHA, or VA loan, we'll pay for your title, settlement, lender, and recording fees. So call Westland at 888-455-3669. That's 888-455-3669. It's the biggest no-brainer in the history of mankind. 888-455-3669.
Paid for by Westland Financial. NMLS number 3304. Not all loans apply. Equal housing lender.
If your family depends on your income and something happened to you, what would happen to them? You need life insurance, and SelectQuote can help you get it at a price you can afford.
SelectQuote found Jacob, 40, who's in excellent health, a 10-year, $500,000 policy for only $19 a month.
Not in perfect health? Don't worry.
SelectQuote found Tanya, 40, who has type 2 diabetes, a 10-year, $500,000 policy for only $32 a month.
We shop companies like Protective, Prudential, American General, and others to find you the company with the best rates. Give your family the security they need at a price you can afford.
For your free quote, call 1-800-885-5959. That's 1-800-885-5959. Or go to SelectQuote.com. That's 1-800-885-5959.
SelectQuote. We shop, you save.
Get full details on the example policies at selectquote.com/commercials. Your premium could vary depending on your health, issuing company, and other factors. Not available in all states.
From the QC Kinetic Studio.
One team, one mission. KZDC, San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN, AM 1250 and 94.5 FM. Joe Reinagel, Jason Minix, The Blitz.
It is the Blitz here on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250, 94.5 FM. I'm Jason Minix. He is Joe Reinagel.
And I am thrilled that it's Friday, number one, and thrilled to be where we're at today.
Which is at Texas Cheer Liquor number 4 on Palo Alto and the Patron Plaza, which I think is the perfect name for it. Just Google Map, get down here. We've got lots of free samples, including some Blantons.
Yes.
We've got some sake.
Which is the best, by the way, Blanton's.
Yeah.
That sake, I don't know, because we haven't been able to try it yet. So this guy's about to try it. We'll ask him and see how he samples that thing, right? We got to say, you already did.
Oh, you already did.
How was it?
He's smiling.
All right, he's
Absolutely.
smiling. Absolutely. Well, sake makes everybody smile, doesn't it? I mean, come on. I don't know. It's always, I like sake bombs sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
And you have a couple of those. I have no worries after that.
You can do a lot of things where you have no worries after a couple.
That's true. Blanton's is that way.
Yeah, Blanton's.
Couple shots of Fireball.
Yes.
Yeah. Fireball, though, kind of makes me nuts.
Makes you nuts?
Makes me nuts, kind of crazy. Well, you get kind of amped up a little bit,
I don't think that's just unique to Fireball.
Well, and tequila does that too. So
see, tequila is not my friend. I just know me and tequila, we're not a good mix. I don't care how you try to mix it. I don't care. I've tried really expensive, good sipping tequilas. Clint Sterner, who joins us every Mondays on the Blitz. We were in Philadelphia at the Army-Navy game a couple of years ago, and he was ordering, I don't know what, these tequila, and it was good, right? I mean, they were really expensive. Of course, we were at a hotel bar anyway.
Right. Yeah.
But, it's a good sipping tequila. I wish I could remember the name. Maybe Rob does. It was really good, but again, not my friend.
Yeah.
Later on, you realize not your friend.
You got crazy or what? You get sick or what happened?
Not sick. You just feel like crap. It's been a long time since I got sick. I just nope. That tequila hangover hits a whole lot different.
I tell you what, the one thing about tequila is, for me, it's like a 5-hour energy. You take a shot of tequila and you're just like, whoa, let's go.
Really?
Absolutely. I mean, you can't drink a whole bottle like you probably did that night, but I mean,
sipping
a shot or two, and you're good to go for the night.
Especially like when you're at the bar and people are doing tequila shots, and the problem is it's always it's just one. It's never just one. It's never just one.
Yeah, that's the biggest lie there is.
Yeah.
Anybody that walks into a bar and says, I'm going to have just one, they're lying to everybody, including themselves.
Well, that's true. That's true. Although I've gone and had just one.
You have?
No.
Will they kick you out or?
No, I got there at 1:45. I didn't realize the time.
Yeah.
I was leaving another place. Went over. No, I mean that's kind of how it goes. And you look at it. Yeah, it's one of those. But there's so much here at Texas Cheer, and there's some stuff, I don't know what it is, but the bottles look cool, so I want to try it just because of that. And that's such a big part of the alcohol game now is the presentation.
Well, the bottle, because I got a bottle of tequila that I haven't broken into, and I see the bottle up there on the top shelf.
Uh-huh.
That's it, exactly. But I don't want to open it, and I should, because I can still keep the bottle, right? It's a decoration, but it looks so good sitting on my little bar that I don't ever want it to go away.
See, I've got a bottle of tequila that won't open, but that was the one that Emmett Smith gave us at the Super Bowl a couple of years ago, and it's a special bottle for that. I have tried the Herradura tequila, but that bottle's never going to close. You're right. I mean,
that's a cool bottle.
It's a cool bottle. I think you should open it.
Hey, D, what's the name of that tequila? Something Azul. Okay. All right. Well, and it's supposed to be really good.
Sure. Yeah.
Ah. Okay.
What'd he say?
He got at a baby shower. We have these headphones
that's
on.
What he was serving.
Yes.
All right. So if that's what the guy that owns the liquor store is serving, it's damn good. And that must have been one hell of a baby shower.
Yeah.
I'm sure everybody had a great time, but your wife.
I want to go to those baby showers. Have more babies and invite us, will you?
or just throw a party. I mean, that kid's got a 1-year birthday party coming up soon.
Dude, I'm telling you, I love that bottle, though. It's white, right? It's got the bell on. It's a bell, actually, on top. And, yeah, it's a bell, see? And it's got little blue, designs in it. And it's the coolest thing. So, it's cool. So, but you're right about it. Liquor bottles, a lot of them now are decoration.
They are. And you see that a lot with the bourbons. That people will just have. They just want them on display. They say they have them. There was a bar over in Stone Oak, and a guy walked in and said, how much for the bottle? And I'm sitting, and the guy was like, well, for the whole bottle? Yeah, I don't even want to drink it. I just want to, I want to buy what's left in that bottle so I can have that bottle for my collection. And it ended up because, you're talking about per pour at a bar.
Right.
And I want to say the guy spent like $500 or $600.
And he probably just could have come here to Texas Cheer Liquor and gotten the same thing for about a third of the price.
I don't know about a third, maybe a half. Because some of those bourbons, it's like a market. It's like you've got the Michael Jordan rookie card, or you've got this card, or one day it might be $200 for that bottle of Blanton's. Today it might be $2.99.
Well, that's true.
Now, if you come to Texas Cheer and you're a part of the program that they have, then it might be $89. So I mean, if you're a regular customer and you know the secret handshake, then you're going to save money. I mean, that's kind of what it boils down to.
I think there's a punch card, right? You got to come in 20 times at least before you get the secret handshake.
Yeah, if you're a regular customer, they show customer appreciation. If you're a one-off saying, well, they got the Blantons, I'm going to go get it, then you're paying sticker.
Well, yeah, and that's okay. I mean, because anybody that likes Blantons, it's hard to find.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's why I was so impressed that they actually have it here, and they're getting some in next week. So if you're looking for Blantons and you can't find it, they're going to have it here next week.
Yeah, Thursday.
Well, maybe before that.
Well, I'm just giving us enough time to get here.
well, we've already been told they're going to put that behind the counter, right? With our names on it.
I just when it comes in, it's like when it's your birthday when you were a kid, and grandma sending the check with the card with money, and you're going to check the mail every day as soon as you see the mail guy. If you tell everybody that they're going to get the order of Blanton's here on Wednesday, they're all going to be waiting in the parking lot. And then it makes it a little bit harder for the guy to go, oh, yeah, I forgot to pull those 2 bottles because, I told the guy to save it, and then they didn't.
Look at that face. That's about as honest a face as I've ever seen.
Yeah, but he won't be here. And then the other guy is going to say, oh, yeah, I lost the sticky note. I mean, that's why I can tell you for sure it will be here Thursday, maybe.
Okay, it will be here Thursday, maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
No, this is a cool place. It's my first time here, and it won't be my last for sure. This is a great place to come in. And everybody's so friendly here, too, and helps out. And, again, we got free samples. We've got sake margaritas going over there.
You're excited about those.
Well, I've got to take a bottle of that sake because Maggie loves sake.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she's going to expect that.
Yes, she is.
She is, so I've got to do that.
And, again, you think about, get the samples and then get on an airplane, go to Vegas. To be in Vegas this weekend for the AFC NFC Championship.
That's pretty cool.
That is very, very cool.
Speaking of betting and gambling,
yes,
I will be.
Yes.
So when we make our picks here in a moment, you'll know that I'm going to put my money where my mouth is.
I don't know that.
No, you do know.
I mean, unless you post photos.
I will post photos of the ticket.
All right.
As soon as I purchase or put my money down and I get the ticket, I'm going to snap a picture. I'll put it out on all the socials, and you can see that I'm not lying to you.
Absolutely. And again, sure. Now again, I mean, you look at the line, and whatever book you end up at this weekend, whatever that line is, versus winning outright, and they're 2 different things. So what you tell us right now is just straight up win, although we can go against the spread too. And we'll start with the Kansas City game. Last I looked, it was Chiefs by 7.5. I think the Chiefs win, but I would put my money on the Bengals. I think that will be one of those high scoring yet close games at the end.
Well, I want to look because a lot of people are like you, right? So they're taking they all like Cincinnati to cover. So, which means the line is going to come down. So I'm hoping when I get to Vegas, that line's at about 6.5. Then I'm all over Kansas City. Because look, Cincinnati's the hot pick, right? They're the cool kid on the block, the new kid on the block. Everybody loves them. Joe Cool, the quarterback, Jamar Chase, the wide receiver. Everybody thinks they're. Look, dude, Burrow got sacked 9 times last week.
Yeah,
and if not for Ryan Tannehill having his head up his behind, Tennessee wins that game.
True.
Okay, and they wouldn't even be there. So Patrick Mahomes is not Ryan Tannehill. But he's not going to make those same mistakes.
That defensive front of Kansas City is not the same as Tennessee's.
I'm taking the Kansas City Chiefs to cover a 7-point spread. They win by 10.
They win by 10.
They win by 10.
And you look at that. What I hear this morning on Greeny, teams that played in the divisional game that went to overtime are 7-18 in the championship games.
Well, that's the only thing that worries me, right?
Is
that Kansas City is emotional, right? They had an emotional win last week, and so the emotions. But it's going to take them a minute to get started. But once they get started, they will handle Cincinnati. I hate to burst everybody's bubble that thinks Cincinnati is all of a sudden the greatest thing since sliced bread, but they're going to lose, and they're going to lose by double digits to the Kansas City Chiefs this Sunday.
And I could see it being a 41-28 kind of game where Kansas City pulls away late. Tyreek Hill does what he does. But I also am not going to be surprised that when Tyreek Hill is running in for a touchdown and gives somebody a peace sign that he's going to get flagged this time and that touchdown isn't going to count. Because in reality, and by the letter of the law, that touchdown shouldn't have counted last week against the Buffalo Bills.
Well, Joe Burrow's touchdown against the Raiders shouldn't have counted either because the inadvertent whistle went through. So, look, it all plays out in the wash, Jason, okay? There's calls here and there that happens to, and, you just got to live with it. So, and we'll debate all of that stuff right here, and that's why I like it, and it's controversial, and it's all good. So
you look at the game that the Chiefs played against the Cincinnati Bengals not long ago. The Bengals won 34-31. And you look at the numbers in that game. Burrow threw for 446 and 4 touchdowns in that game. Chase had 266 yards and 3 touchdowns. That's, this was just a couple of weeks ago. This wasn't early in the season when Kansas City was trying to figure it out. They had it figured out, and if I remember right, they had a big lead in that game. I'm trying to see if this has a score by quarter as I pull up the notes from that game. But it's one of those games where if Cincinnati gets on a roll, they're going to be there, especially if the Honey Badger is still having some issues after the concussion. But they've already shown they can't cover these guys. And Cincinnati can still run the ball with Mixon. I think it's going to be a hell of an entertaining game, similar to what you saw Buffalo entertainment-wise, just the styles are so different.
Well, so you're saying that Cincinnati is as good as Buffalo? Is that what you're telling me?
I did not say that.
Well,
I said
you said it's going to be a similar game.
An entertaining game.
Entertaining game.
Like what we just saw last week.
I don't believe that Cincinnati is ready just yet. And I think Patrick Mahomes is going to have his way against that Bengals defense. They're going to put up a lot of points, and I just don't believe that Cincinnati is going to be able to match that. And they'll win. Right now, the current spread is 7, so it's already come down a hook, right? Yep. So, and I think it will come down at least another half a point. And certainly, I take it at 7 right now.
If Kansas City can keep it close, if Cincinnati can keep it close, they've got a cocky enough kicker to win it at the end. But again, you look at 13 seconds, Cincinnati can't celebrate. I mean, just the idea of what you saw last week, but Cincinnati's playoff games, 19-16 and 26-19, can their defense hold Kansas City? I'm not going to say under 20 because that's ridiculous, but if they can hold them under 30, they're going to have a chance to win that game.
Well, the Buffalo Bills couldn't hold them under 30, and they were the number 1 defense in the NFL. So you're talking about the Buffalo Bills and the Cincinnati Bengals. You're not comparing apples to apples there. One is much better than the other, especially when it comes to defense. And as much as I like Joe Burrow, he's not Josh Allen. He cannot do the same things that Josh Allen did. And so that's why I like Kansas City. And again, I think maybe it's a slow start for the Chiefs because, let's face it, that was a very emotional football game that they played against Buffalo. So I think they pull it out in the end, and they're going to cover that spread.
So you like Kansas City outright and against the spread?
Yes.
I think Cincinnati covers the 7.5 because I could 38-31.
Well, it's 7 now.
Well, it's 7 now, but if I'm in Vegas, when you call me and say I'm in line, what do you want? And I give you that current number.
Well, you going to hand me some money before I leave or what?
You got me. I'm good for it. I'm good for it.
I always hated people that did that.
No.
Hey, you're going to Vegas. Hey, here's $20. Put it on the dice table for me. I'm
sure.
like, okay.
Yeah, you lost.
Yeah,
Thanks.
I always say, well, sorry, you lost. And
yeah,
that was
exactly. But I do want my ticket. No, but I really want Kansas City because I think the Kansas City and Chiefs against the Los Angeles Rams is going to be one hell of a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And I'm going for the best Super Bowl matchup, and I know I'm just showing my hand there because there's all this talk about San Francisco and winning a third time. And again, the last line I saw there was by 3.5. I think the Rams win it by a field goal. I would take San Francisco at 3.5, but I do think the Rams win the game, and they're going to play in the Super Bowl in their own building.
See, this one hasn't changed all week. It's pretty much been 3.5 all week, and according to this particular website, that's exactly what it is right now. So, that's a scary game, Jason. I'll be honest with you, but I'm the same way with you. I would prefer to see Kansas City and Los Angeles play in the Super Bowl. I think that would be a very entertaining Super Bowl. You're going to have some good storylines with Matthew Stafford, who has resurrected himself from living in hell for the last 10 years in Detroit. And so I just think that, he's got an opportunity, and I would really like to see him get to the Super Bowl and have that opportunity to win. However, saying that, they haven't beaten San Francisco in the last 6 tries.
Yeah, that's kind of weird.
That's weird.
It's hard to even go, what do you say about that? And again, San Francisco is like the cockroach that won't die.
That's
right?
true.
I mean, they really are, and they play that way.
Yeah,
they're tough. They're physical. Garoppolo. It's not like he was great the other day, but when he needed to be big in a moment, he was. Yet you still don't even feel like that guy's the future of the 49ers when it comes to the quarterback play. Here's a guy that has been in one Super Bowl and now in another NFC championship game, and hell, could take his team to a second Super Bowl, and they want to get rid of him.
Yeah.
I mean, it's ridiculous, but then you also look at his production and says, well, I understand why you don't want to stay married to that guy.
Rumor has it that he'll be traded in the offseason regardless of what happens with this. So we'll have to wait and see. But I just think that that's a scary game. And that one, honestly, Jason, scares me more than the Kansas City-Cincinnati game.
Yeah, I could certainly see that in the sense of San Francisco can ugly this thing up
right
and end up with a win.
Yeah.
And that would suck.
That would suck. It really would. And you can't trust Los Angeles to protect the lead. Obviously, they blew a 17-point lead against San Francisco, 2-3 weeks ago?
Mm-hmm.
And then they blew a big lead against Tampa Bay just last week.
Doing stupid stuff.
Right.
I mean, just dumb football. The acres, the snap. I mean, all of that. And you almost wonder when they get the big lead, do you just – I don't know, run the most basic things, use as much clock and punt. I mean, if you get a 3-score lead, if they're up 17 on San Francisco again, is that when you literally put it in neutral and just try to coast? Because, they blew that game with the same dumb stuff, trying to stay aggressive. Well, when you get aggressive, and obviously you've lost a little bit of focus, and that team seems to have that issue. They had all those dumb turnovers. I as bad as it sounds, all of a sudden, run the wing tee. All of a sudden, just do something to just bleed clock and end the game sooner.
Well, part of that they tried to do, though, Jason, and Cam Akers couldn't hang on to the football. So, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see who handles the football this weekend if the Rams get a lead and they want to try to run some clock? Is it going to be Sony Michel or is it going to be Cam Akers? Because, I mean, right now, I would be a little bit nervous about Cam Akers touching that football in a situation where you needed him to hang on to it.
Well, I mean, you got to trust him. He's your guy. And what, Sony Michel have, like, 2 or 3 carries?
Yeah, he didn't have many, and I was actually surprised by that. But, you know, Cam Akers is you're right. He's the guy. He's the guy that they want to carry the football, so we'll see what happens. But we didn't pick that game. Did you pick it?
Yeah, Rams to win, San Francisco to cover.
Oh.
Rams by 3.
So you're liking both dogs to cover.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to go just the opposite then. I think the Rams take this thing and they cover the 3.5 point spread. So we disagree on both.
Just give me $100 now and save it in Vegas.
No, I wouldn't do that. You give me $100 and save it for Vegas.
Yeah, that made 0 sense, Ryan Egg.
Well, of course.
We'll see. Although we both have the Rams and the Chiefs in the Super Bowl.
Yes, we do.
That's the ultimate goal because that would be a spectacular matchup.
And we'll be there covering it all beginning a week from Monday.
A week from Monday.
Wow.
Our Super Bowl, our big game coverage live from LA, brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds, starting at next Monday from the LA Convention Center as we get ready for the weekend. This weekend, it's all about the conference championship games. The weather is spectacular. You know you're going to fire up the grill, make some good food. I'm thinking beef ribs for this weekend. Whatever you decide to put on that grill, it starts with the great meat. That means you got to get into Tri-County Meat Market with their 2 great locations, the one on Huebner or over on Ralph Fair Road. They've got everything you need from your beef, your chicken, your pork, your fajitas. They've got the poppers. They've got that pick five for 25, which is incredible. Plenty of grab and go items from K4, like twice baked potatoes, buckaroo mac and cheese, queso, chicken salad, potato salad, cream corn. They got desserts. They've got Maggie Mae's ready to go salads, Bowman's Family Farm milks. They'll get you set for the weekend there at Tri-County Meat Market. And if you're military or first responder, they always offer a 10% discount. 2 great locations on Ralph Fair Road and on Huebner, online at tricountymeat.com.
Lots happening with the Dallas Cowboys today. Jerry Jones speaks. We're going to visit with Jon Machota when we come back. But first, a SportsCenter update with Carl Schoening.
Thank you, Joe. The San Antonio Spurs tip off tonight in about a couple hours. 7:30 is the scheduled tip-off as they host the Chicago Bulls. This marks the first time that DeMar DeRozan returns to San Antonio after 3 years with the Silver and Black. DeMar is averaging 26 points per game as a Bull. Happening tonight in Houston, the Rockets will host the Trailblazers. The Rockets are currently in last place in the West, while the Blazers are in the 10 seed, ready to get in the play-in position. Kevin Porter Jr. and Christian Wood are both questionable for Houston. Earlier today, the Dallas Cowboys defensive coordinator Dan Quinn will return to Dallas as announced by Jerry Jones, turning down at least one head coaching job during the offseason. And he also put to rest Sean Payton rumors committing to Mike McCarthy. For San Antonio Sports Star, I'm Carl Schoening.
I struggled with symptoms like frequent gas and stomach pain for years.
I was bloated all the time with daily diarrhea.
At first, I thought it was what I was eating.
I kept thinking it was stomach issues.
So I did my research and talked to my doctor, and we finally uncovered the truth.
It was actually EPI. Exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI, is a condition where your pancreas is unable to help break down your food.
It can lead to symptoms like diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, unexplained weight loss, and oily stools.
And EPI symptoms can be confused with those of other common digestive conditions, like irritable bowel syndrome, Crohn's, and celiac disease.
So getting to the right diagnosis meant being more open with my doctor about the severity of my symptoms and how often they were happening.
But there's good news. EPI is manageable, so don't wait any longer. Use the symptom checker at identifyepi.com and schedule a visit or call with your doctor to ask, could I have EPI?
Sponsored by AbbVie.
Do you love your garage? Can you get your cars and the kids' bikes in? Jason Minix here for Garageization, your garage storage solution. With a variety of shelving, overhead racks, slat walls, and closed cabinet options, Garageization can make your garage functional for the entire family. Call 210-664-4494 and have them give you a free customized plan for your family's needs. For over a decade, Garageization has helped people love their garage. Learn more online at GarageOrganizationSanAntonio.com.
Hi, I'm Emmitt Smith, Pro Football Hall of Famer and 3-time champion.
Pro Football's all-time leading rusher Emmitt Smith talks about joint pain.
Trust me, I know about joint pain. Sure, I made it look easy, but if my body could speak, it would say, I'm in pain.
Are you living with chronic joint pain? Knees, hips, lower back, shoulders? Don't just assume the old treatments are the only treatments.
I've gone under the knife to get rid of pain, but now there are options, and you need to check them out.
Emmitt's talking about QC Kinetics, exciting new natural biologic therapies that can repair and restore damaged tissue in your joints. New options now available here.
You can encourage your body to actually heal itself with the help of QC Kinetics.
Real relief with no surgery, no drugs, no downtime. Call the local medical professionals at QC Kinetics for regenerative restorative treatments with lasting relief.
But now, you and I, we have help. QC Kinetics.
Start now with a free consultation at QC Kinetics. 210-571-0318. That's 210-571-0318. Call today. 571-0318.
If you're a guy over 30 and feeling frustrated about your health, listen up. Not feeling yourself lately? Are work and relationships getting you down? Do you feel a lack of energy and focus on the things that matter to you most? All men around age 30 have the potential for their testosterone levels to decline naturally. When that happens, life can feel out of control. If that's you, then it's time to rethink your health with Synergenics Testosterone Replacement Therapy. For more info and to schedule an appointment, head over to 800lowt.com today and get your life back.
Hello, my name is Jason Thompson, owner of the Thompson Law Firm right here in San Antonio. And for the past 27 years, I have represented people in our community who have been injured because of negligent drivers of cars, 18-wheelers, and company vehicles. I really want you to know that if you're involved in a collision, you need to contact an experienced attorney as soon as possible after the collision. All you may know about an insurance company is what you see on television. If you have ever been forced to make a claim after being injured in an auto collision, there are no jokes, no geckos, no cavemen, no professional athlete endorsers. Just you against a giant insurance company that is represented by skilled adjusters and attorneys who have one job: pay as little as possible. If you've been injured in a collision, please contact an experienced attorney as soon as possible after the collision. I, of course, want you to call me, Jason Thompson. My number is 210-900-0400. That's 900-0400. Or go to my website, alawyerforus.com. That's all one word, alawyerforus.com.
Come here for game only. This is San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN, AM 1250 and 94.5 FM.
It is the Blitz here on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250, 94.5 FM. I'm Jason Minix. He is Joe Reinagel. We're live out at Texas Cheer Liquor number 4 over on Palo Alto Road. Get your weekend started right. Come hang out with us here at Texas Cheer. They got everything you need for your weekend, sampling lots of bourbons, including Blanton. So come by and see us here at Texas Cheer Liquor number 4 on Palo Alto. We are here until 7 o'clock tonight.
The thing I want to clear up is that the idea of Mike being twisting in the wind just wasn't the case at all. We were sitting there trying to keep Dan Quinn and trying to maintain continuity on our coaching staff.
That was Jerry Jones, Cowboys owner, who sporadically woke up this morning and decided he wanted to call in the 105.3 The Fan. Talked with them. You heard the interview. We played some cuts to help dissect it. Our buddy Jon Machota from The Athletic. John, what'd you make of Jerry's phone call to The Fan this morning?
I think my favorite part is while it's going on, friends of mine in the business who cover other teams.
Ed Warder? Oh.
No. Texting me going, man, you have a wild beat over there. Like, I cannot believe the owner just hopped. I'm like, yeah, this is kind of how it is here. You think this weekend would just all be about these 4 teams that are still playing, that still have a chance to win the Super Bowl. But no, I'll say this. I mean, I'm just a stupid sports writer, but I have a hard time connecting the dots behind if you could have just said that Mike McCarthy's your head coach. That doesn't have any impact on what other teams are going to do with Dan Quinn. Like that, I understand that you didn't want to sit there and sound like you were just thrilled with the coaching staff, because obviously you weren't. I mean, believe me, actions speak louder than words. And the way Jerry looked walking out of that locker room told me, like, I knew he was angry after the game, but there's only so much he can do in terms of the coaching staff. Like, I'm not one of these people that, do I think that he should just fire Mike McCarthy and just start over new and go hire Brian Daboll? Like, it looks like the Giants are just doing. No. I don't do that. I do think that Dan Quinn, if that was something that you were considering him to be your head coach, I can understand that. I think Dan Quinn would make a heck of a head coach. And I certainly have seen firsthand how the players play for him. But so is that what Jerry's inferring, that he didn't want other teams to come after Dan Quinn because he wanted him to think that he was going to hire Dan Quinn? That makes no sense. The whole way, like, you can, again, actions speak louder than words, and you can interpret it whatever way you want. This is how I interpret it. Dan Quinn clearly was interested in a head coaching job. I don't think he was going to just take any head coaching job. Didn't seem like he had very much interest in the Jacksonville job, for an example. But if Dan Quinn had a chance to be the Denver Broncos head coach, they interviewed him twice. He was one of the finalists. Or the Chicago Bears, and I believe even the Giants, I think he takes those jobs. I don't buy that Jerry talked him out of one of those jobs. I think that those jobs were filled. And, I mean, look at how fast this news came down. It was right after the Denver job got filled, and then shortly after it, the news started to surface that the Bears were going with Matt Eberflus. So all that left was the Giants, which were Dan Quinn's childhood, favorite team. That's who he grew up rooting for. And certainly that would have been interesting. But when I hear John Mara talking the other day about how they're keeping Daniel Jones and they need to fix him, I mean, he could have just said right there they were going to hire Brian Daboll. I mean, that's what you're going to do. You're not going to bring in a defensive coach. If you're stuck with Daniel Jones, you're going to bring in the best offensive coach that you possibly can. And obviously with Brian Daboll's done in Buffalo, that makes sense. So anyway, I'm going too long on this answer, but basically what I'm getting at is I think that the job that Dan Quinn really wanted weren't there. Or they got filled by other people. And so it's not bad to go and be the Dallas Cowboys defensive coordinator for another year. And then the next cycle next year, we all know there's going to be more jobs like this. He's right back in the mix again, as long as the defense looks as good as it did, if not better, this year.
Well, and John, you got to wonder, I mean, the Dallas Cowboys could have an opening next year too. I mean, depending on what happens with the year, and because, those rumors aren't going to go away. The first time Mike McCarthy, they lose 2 games in a row or they look bad on this, I mean, those rumors are going to start flying again. He's going to be on the hot seat this year. So is there a chance that Jerry, with a wink and a nod, might have said, hey, Dan, maybe your new head coaching job just might be here?
I mean, I'm sure after the fact, but I just put myself in those positions. I'm not taking a wink and a nod from anybody, because that stuff can change in a second. And if you're Dan Quinn, even on a wink and a nod, I mean, you don't even have to be Dan Quinn. Everybody knows that if things don't go well with Jerry Jones, with Mike McCarthy, number one on his list is going to be Sean Payton next year at this time.
Yeah.
So
yes.
No matter how many winks and guns he gives you, that stuff doesn't hold any weight. If I get a chance to be a head coach for a team, and it's an organization that I feel really good about, like he must have felt about Denver, Chicago, New York, then I'm taking one of those. I might never get another one of those opportunities again to coach one of those teams. So yeah, that might have been said. And Dan probably knows that, hey, if things don't go well, maybe that, the scenario you just painted, maybe that does fit for him. But now that Sean Payton is allegedly going to the TV booth, we all know those it's not going anywhere. And in terms of, you mentioned Mike McCarthy, if things start out not going so well, I'm telling you, I feel like Mike McCarthy next year is going into the exact same thing Jason Garrett did in 2019. Actually, I shouldn't say exact same, because Jason Garrett was in the final year of his contract, but I think the expectations are the same. It's going to be like, hey, this is it. Show me something or we're moving on.
Super Bowl or bust when it comes to Mike McCarthy. It feels that way as we visit with Jon Machota from The Athletic here on the Blitz. And speaking of McCarthy, and, Kellen Moore clearly doesn't appear to be in line to get one of the head coaching jobs that he is interviewed for. But I did think it was interesting this morning that Jerry said absolutely Mike McCarthy would be more involved with the offense next year. Do you think that means more than he was this year, like play calling, or just, yeah, he's involved, he's the head coach, as Jerry says, that's what he do?
Yeah, I don't think it'll be play calling. It just Mike's made it clear from the first day he spoke with us after taking the job that whoever was going to be installing the offense would be the one that's calling it. I don't get the sense that Mike McCarthy really wants to install the offense. I've never gotten that vibe from him. I think he wants to have an offensive coordinator. Now, what Jerry said today, I could see that being one of those things where, yeah, be more hands-on, speak up a little bit more, things like that. But I hear that stuff and I'm just kind of like, I don't know why that needs to be said now. That could have been said after week 1, go to 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There was a bye week, 7, 8. I mean, that could have been said a long time ago. Hey, Mike, we know you won a Super Bowl and you were calling offensive plays. Why don't you step in here and speak up a little bit more? I find it hard to believe that wasn't mentioned before. So, a lot of stuff on the radio today, it's just kind of one of those things where, and then even with the Kellen Moore thing, it's just kind of like, okay, you said that you didn't want to talk at all and say anything about job security because you didn't want Dan Quinn to get away. Well, you're talking right now, and Kellen Moore could still get a head coaching job. I mean, obviously, it doesn't look like that's going to happen. That's directions not going, but it's like, it just doesn't make sense that you would jump on the radio this morning when it's not like Kellen Moore has been locked back in, and he said he expects Kellen to be back, and he wants Kellen to be back. So I think Jerry, what he wanted to do is he wanted to clear up the rumors about Mike McCarthy, but then he also wanted to spin and sell some hope because that's what he does. And so he was trying to sell that hope with, look, we got Dan Quinn's coming back, guys. Dan Quinn's coming back. And I'm afraid that that's just not enough for the fan base. I don't see how the fan base hears that and doesn't go, yeah, I know. Well, he was here last year. Like, how is that going to make us significantly better this upcoming year if you're not making any other changes, So I think he wanted to try and pump some sunshine. I just don't know how many people are buying it right now.
John, having said all of that, and we've been talking obviously a lot about the coaching staff, Mike McCarthy and Dan Quinn, but the Cowboys have a lot of free agents that they've got to deal with this offseason. How do you see all of that playing out? And do you think this team is going to look significantly different than the one that just ended the season a couple of weeks ago?
I don't think it'll look significantly different because you're still going to have several of your key members on the offensive line, even if you add a key piece early in the draft. Dak Prescott's obviously the organization. Ezekiel Elliott's going anywhere. CeeDee Lamb's not going anywhere. So offensively, a lot of key pieces there. Your defense, the face of it now is Micah Parsons, Trayvon Diggs going anywhere. So something has to be done with Randy Gregory, and there's still, could still be something done with DeMarcus Lawrence's contract. I mean, I think DeMarcus Lawrence will be back. But that's not a guarantee right now. They could ultimately sit down and decide, hey, you know what, we need to cut him. We need to save some money here and spend it somewhere else. I don't think that that's a great move, but it's a possibility. So the Randy Gregory, DeMarcus Lawrence, I'd be surprised if both of them are on the team next year. I think it will probably be one of those. And then you'll probably have to fill that spot with somebody else, whether it be a cheap free agent or investing in the draft. But when you mention free agency, one of the key moves, though, I do think could be impacted by making sure that Dan Quinn is back, is that it certainly lines yourself up better with your chances of getting J-Ron Curse to re-sign, because he was one of your most valuable defensive players. He was a key member of this team. He was on a 1-year deal, and he far exceeded what your expectations were of him. And he had a career year. And so if they're willing to offer him something decent, I could see him re-signing, because nobody in his time in the NFL has used him as well as Dan Quinn did. And he had a defined role, and he was the vocal leaders and faces of the defense. That definitely helps his chances of being re-signed. And if they can bring him back, that would be big.
Jon Machota from The Athletic joining us here on the Blitz. John, I was a little surprised that Dak did not win Comeback Player of the Year from the Pro Football Writers Association. That went to Joe Burrow. Were you surprised at that?
I'm not. No, it's kind of interesting, because about halfway through the season, it was like, this isn't even a race. Like, just give the Dak the award now. And it's nothing against really Dak. I mean, yeah, he didn't play his best ball down the back end of the season, but it's just Joe Burrow has just gone on another level. And, having that back-to-back 400-yard games, getting them in the playoffs, and then certainly what he's done since he's been in the playoffs. Now, I think the vote was over at the end of the regular season, so I guess the playoffs wouldn't count in that. But I'm not surprised by it, because if you follow what the Bengals have done, I mean, they're not doing any of that without Joe Burrow.
It's incredible. Who's going to be in the Super Bowl, John?
I think it's going to be the Rams and Chiefs. I really feel like last week was the NFC and AFC championship games. I guess maybe maybe I'll stop doubting Jimmy Garoppolo and the 49ers if they beat the Rams. But first of all, I just don't. I mean, how many times the 49ers have won. Eventually, the Rams, I just think the Rams are a better team. They're healthier right now. Matthew Stafford's playing well. So I think the Rams getting by the Bucks, I think that set them up perfectly in the NFC. And then in the AFC, I just think Patrick Mahomes is going to be too much playing at home. Just the way he is in these big moments. Like Joe Burrow's been great, but I just think that the Disney story comes to an end.
Well, John, I tell you what, I think you need a raise because of all the guys, and your friend said it today, the Cowboys season never really ends, right? I mean, you're going to be working, you work 365, I'm telling you. So you need to go ask for a raise, my friend.
It's interesting to say, like, I'm fine with it. Like, I genuinely enjoy covering this team because there's always stuff going on. Like, I do enjoy the job. The one thing I'll say, though, about this offseason compared to others is that generally the way that I get the sense from the fan base, and rightfully so, the way they feel right now, it's the 12-win season is just like doesn't even matter to them now. And typically when you're at the level of disappointment the fan base is, you at least can go into the draft and be like, hey, we got a top 5 pick or, even top 10 pick. We can build through this draft, whatever. Like now you go to the draft, you're not picking until 24th. Like the odds that you're going to get this, like, you're probably not finding another Micah Parsons or Trayvon Diggs immediately in this draft. And you're not going to spend in free agency. I sit here with this job thinking like, what is going to get Cowboys fans excited going into next year, into training camp? Like, there's not going to be a lot of changes. Like, I guess Micah Parsons could improve on what he did, but he was so good already. I don't know how much more he can improve. Like, I don't know. This is just such a weird off season because they had a pretty good season, but the way it ended, it makes you think like, yeah, are you really excited for next season after watching this?
Well, you would be if, I don't know, Sean Payton was the coach. I think you answered the question.
And don't think for a second that Jerry didn't think that either. And that's
absolutely.
Why would Jerry say any of that now? But I find it interesting that, he says he hasn't talked to Sean and whatever, but I feel like if there was really, like Sean was really interested in the Cowboys job and he didn't want to do TV or he didn't want to take a year away, I think we might be talking about different stuff today. But because he didn't or he's not interested in it right now, and he does appear to want to take a year away, I think that's why everything heads in this direction. I think that's why you get Jerry Jones to come on the radio today. Because if Sean Payton wants that Cowboys job, I find it very hard to believe that Jerry Jones is saying, nope, we got our coaching staff, we're good. Thank you, Sean.
But maybe after a week of unemployment, Sean will realize he does want to coach. And Jerry went on the radio today, so he's going to steal all the headlines away from the NFC championship game. What does he say the Friday before the Super Bowl?
He's got to have something.
Exactly. I mean, and it's the Cowboys. You never know. You know how you get John a raise? You subscribe to the Athletic.
Okay,
and that's
absolutely.
what you need
Already
to do.
done.
And you should, because the coverage is worth every penny, and it's not a lot of pennies. It's fantastic. John, enjoy the weekend, man. You got plenty to write about over the weekend now.
You guys do the same. Thanks for having me on.
Appreciate it. Jon Machota on Twitter at Jon Machota, Jon. No H in John.
The Dallas Cowboys, the gift that keeps on giving year round.
Well, and again, you think about Sean Payton, where he stands. You heard what he said on Dan Patrick. If you didn't, we'll tell you. But it certainly sounded like he was talking directly to Jerry on one of those points. It's like an interview. What would you do in this situation? We'll hear from Sean Payton coming up. Rudy J is in the building here at Texas Cheer Liquor number 4 down on Palo Alto. He's going to jump on with us as well after he's done sampling that the rest of that bottle of Blanton. Oh, no. No, he's just looking at the bottle now.
He's making his selections for later.
None of that is actually going to get in there. This weekend, you think about watching some of the football games, you're going to have some great kielbasa on the grill, because if you're grilling and you've got sausage going, you want the best sausage available, and that is kielbasa smoked meats. But when you're at select H-E-B stores, and hopefully it's at the one you go to, if not, go to one that has those new kielbasa maple breakfast links. They are fantastic. And again, perfect with that big weekend breakfast spread. These breakfast links are a little sweet, a little savory, totally delicious. If you haven't tried them yet, you are missing out. If they don't have it at your H-E-B, tell the grocery manager there to get them, and then drive to the next H-E-B, because they likely will have them. You can get those kielbasa maple breakfast links at select H-E-B stores. Make sure you get some kielbasa today.
It's heart-stopping, rim-wrecking, Football arch in action.
All three, got it!
College hoops are happening, and we've got the action and excitement you love. San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM.
Are you thinking about selling your car? Don't get tricked with 2-minute offers only to spend 4 hours at a dealership. I want you to check out my friends at Car Zeus. It's Rudy J here. Car Zeus is not a dealership, so you don't need to worry about shady sales tactics just to lure you in the door. I'm talking about saving you time and hassle. Simply fill out a form about your car's condition at carzeus.com, and a local agent will text you an offer during business hours. No obligation. Plus, they pay the same day and even provide a courtesy Lyft ride home. That's carzeus.com.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Do you have taxiety, that uncertain feeling before doing your taxes? Connect with Liberty Tax and then just breathe in and cash out.
Get your refund faster with direct deposit to a Deep Blue debit account.
Deep Blue.
Visit StopTaxiety.com to schedule your appointment, and let's end taxiety. Liberty Tax. Faster access to funds based on comparing refunds via direct deposit versus a mailed paper check. Terms and conditions apply.
BetOnline.net has you covered this season with more props, odds, and lines than ever before as football continues its march through the playoffs, right up to the big game in a couple of weeks. BetOnline.net remains the best spot for all your sports scores, podcasts, and news this season. And it's not just football. BetOnline.net has up-to-the-minute info on pro and college hoops, NHL, boxing, UFC, along with live, real-time updates of current games. Don't wait to take advantage of all the new, amazing offers available for the 2022 season. BetOnline.net, where the game starts.
If your family depends on your income and something happened to you, what would happen to them? You need life insurance, and SelectQuote can help you get it at a price you can afford.
SelectQuote found Jacob, 40, who's in excellent health, a 10-year, $500,000 policy for only $19 a month.
Not in perfect health? Don't worry.
SelectQuote found Tanya, 40, who has type 2 diabetes, a 10-year, $500,000 policy for only $32 a month.
We shop companies like Protective, Prudential, American General, and others to find you the company with the best rates. Give your family the security they need at a price you can afford.
For your free quote, call 1-800-519-0449. That's 1-800-519-0449. Or go to SelectQuote.com. That's 1-800-519-0449.
SelectQuote. We shop, you save.
Get full details on the example policies at selectquote.com/commercials. Your premium could vary depending on your health, issuing company, and other factors. Not available in all states.
Rob Thompson and Rudy J. Don't rush. It's R&R in the morning. Monday morning at 7. San Antonio Sports Star. ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM.
Everything's bigger in Texas. San Antonio Sports Star. ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM.
It is the Blitz here on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250, 94.5 FM. I'm Jason Minix. He is Joe Ryan-Egel. We're live out at Texas Cheer Liquor number 4 down on Palo Alto, right by the Walmart down here. Easy to find. Joe, we're sampling lots of alcohol out here. When I say we, you as the customers, when you come in, there's plenty of free samples.
And there's a lot of people here.
There are. Although Noah Escamilla on Twitter tweets at JoeKens5, at Jason Minix. Joe, you must be drinking too much at Texas Cheer, saying Joe Burrow isn't Josh Allen. Joe had an MVP caliber season.
Was he talking about Joe Burrow or Joe Ryan-Egel?
Joe Ryan-Egel did not have an MVP caliber
I think Joe
season.
Ryan-Egel did have an MVP type season. I don't know that, but look, I get it. Joe Burrow did well. But I'm asking you, Jason Minix, you have a choice.
Joe
Allen. Burrow, right.
Yeah.
Okay? I mean, I'm just saying, I like Joe Burrow, but I don't think he is Josh Allen just yet.
Well, then the run game alone.
Right.
I mean, he just has such a a different element. I hope long-term Josh Allen can continue.
Yeah.
And look, Brian Daboll just took the head coaching job with the New York Giants. We'll see who the Bills replace him with, but it'll be interesting to see what Josh Allen does with another OC coming in. I mean, we will find out. And again, I think so much. I mean, OC, quarterback, coach, all the different things there. If you got talent, you're going to make it work.
Right.
One of the things that, Kellen Moore kept his job. Jerry wanted to make sure there was consistency within the offense, and Kellen went from Dak's backup to Dak's coach. Well, right? Then you look at Sean Payton. All the rumors about Sean Payton. If Sean Payton were the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys, I would expect him to call the plays. That is what Sean does.
That's what he does.
Sean announced his retirement, the immediate rumors about being the head coach of the Cowboys. He was on with Dan Patrick, and Dan Patrick set him up. Like if you get into broadcasting and say you're an analyst, you've got to learn to talk in, ironically, 14, 15-second bites.
Sure. Right.
And at one point, Sean said something talking and but then even Sean says, hey, ask me about the Cowboys and what I would have done. And so Dan Patrick said, well, what would you have done if you were the Cowboys head coach?
Well, look, they're trying to get in field. They're trying to get in touchdown range, and they ran a draw. We typically would throw a pass and down. Ultimately, I think two more steps for Dak. He's got to slide a little quicker. He's up. Ball has to go to the umpire. Then let's go. We can never hand the ball to the center.
Jerry, never hand the ball to the center. Mike McCarthy, 4 days later, that's how we practice it. You hand the ball to the center. And like everybody knows Mike McCarthy was wrong in that situation, but Mike McCarthy, I kind of felt like Sean Payton was saying, Jerry, you listening? This is the first part of the interview.
Well, Jerry knows what should have happened there. I mean, everybody knows. Jerry's a smart guy. You saw him today. He stole the show. We're talking about Jerry Jones and the Dallas Cowboys, and they are long since gone from the playoffs. But we're still talking about them because of Jerry Jones. Jones knows. And again, Jon Machota said, who was on with us just last segment, said if Sean Payton was interested in that job, then he would be the head coach today, and Mike McCarthy would be gone.
Now, as we sit right now, Sean Payton tells Dan Patrick that at least two teams have already reached out. He's not interested right now. He's a little burnt out.
Mickey, who's a dear friend, our GM and I spoke for an hour and a half. This was right after the season ended. So this is, the week prior to the wild card round. He was good. I mean, he understood it. We've been together, two of us, 16 years. Mrs. Benson was the one that really was adamant, that I take a week away and don't give her an early decision. And then outside of that, Dennis Lauscher, our president, the same way. Both my kids were all ears. They really wanted to be supportive, and we've heard burnout before. I don't know that it's that, but when you're someplace for 16 years, 15 seasons, over a period of time that you're almost ready for another challenge, and you don't know. The thing about it is that there was a week or two leading up to this, and then at the point where I stepped away, there was this discussion that, hey, he's going to go into TV, and I'd like to do that, and yet I hadn't heard from anybody. There was this, well, he's already done, and I'm like,
ouch! Kind of hard to go in if nobody's asking you to come in.
No
Sean.
one's asking. So
I still don't know that I believe that, but if you're looking for a new challenge, the Dallas Cowboys are it.
Well, they're a challenge, but he keeps talking about TV, and I just don't know. The thought of tuning in Sunday, I can't wait to listen to Sean Payton and what he has to say. I mean, he's just not that guy that, that I'd want to tune in and listen to.
I didn't know that Tony Romo was going to be that guy.
You did.
Dude, I'm a Romo-sexual. Maybe I did, but I don't think the rest of America did, right? But again, I don't watch games because of the announcers. We are so long past the days of a Keith Jackson or a John Madden or a Pat Summerall. I don't know how many people go, well, you know what? Joe Buck and Troy aren't calling this game. I'm going to turn the sound down and turn up Brad Sham. I mean, you're going to watch the game. and the announcer is the announcer. You know, I mean, do you ever go, where's Gus Johnson calling a game today? I'm going to go find that one. I'm watching that game only because I want to hear Gus Johnson. I don't know that we have that announcer right now.
I'm watching Gus Johnson because I like Gus Johnson. I think he's exciting, man.
Yeah.
But look, Sean Payton's not going to be in the booth anyway. He's going to be in the pregame and halftime show. All right. So, but that's what I'm talking about. When I watch that Fox pregame show, it's exciting. I look forward to watching that.
Well,
thing.
it's because it's all the sleepy old men over on the CBS morning show.
Well, exactly. and you're exactly right. And that's true. And so, I mean, I have a choice when I watch. When I want to watch a pregame show, I'm tuning to Fox.
And it's kind of like the ESPN show or the Good Morning Foot or Game Day Foot, whatever they call on the NFL Network of Mooch and Michael Irvin and those guys. And I bounce around to all of them except for CBS.
Yeah, CBS needs some help.
Boomer and Phil and Bill and, you know, I just that one does absolutely nothing for me. Nothing. Me either. You're not hurting my feelings. You're looking at me like, Joe, I don't want to hurt your feelings, but I'm speaking the truth. I don't want to hurt your feelings.
I agree with you.
A month before your retirement from CBS.
I totally agree with you.
That morning, that football get ready show was just awful.
It's terrible. The whole thing is bad. It's not good. So
it's going to be interesting to see what happens.
Sean Payton is not going to help. That's my point.
Well, Sean Payton's not going to CBS.
No, how do you know?
Fox makes the most sense because he's an NFC
He's
coach.
not going to Fox. Who are you going to get rid of?
I think they just build a bigger desk.
No, they don't.
I mean, to have him and Bradshaw arguing.
Terry Bradshaw's ego is too big.
I mean, he might have to come up with another reality show. Hell, he's giving away all his money. You know he's not going to quit.
He's making money, I promise you.
Yeah, that he is doing. Rudy J is in the building.
Dude,
here
he walked in here like royalty.
He is, man. He owns the place.
It was like Troy Aikman walked in here. I'm telling you.
He acts like he owns the place anyway. Rudy J will join us coming up in a couple of minutes here on the Blitz live at Texas Cheer Liquor number 4. Let me tell you about Ancira Chrysler Jeep Dodge and Ram truck, part of the Ancira I-10 Auto Complex. Very easy for me to tell you about and recommend Ancira because I am a long-time Ancira customer. Through the years, I've bought many vehicles from Ancira, and it's because of how well they take care of you before, during, and most importantly, after the sale. That is why they're going to make sure you're getting the vehicle you want with the options and features that you're looking for. They'll give you great value on your trade-in, the best rebates and financing options that are available. And you know price made Ancira number 1. Price keeps Ancira number 1. So think Ancira. Ancira Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and Ram truck, part of the Ancira I-10 Auto Complex on I-10 West between Wurzbach and Huebner.
It's drive and determination.
Catching a right-hand dunk.
It's magic and mayhem.
Long three is good.
We've got NBA action live on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM.
Hello, my name is Jason Thompson, owner of the Thompson Law Firm right here in San Antonio. And for the past 27 years, I have represented people in our community who have been injured because of negligent drivers of cars, 18-wheelers, and company vehicles. I really want you to know that if you're involved in a collision, you need to contact an experienced attorney as soon as possible after the collision. All you may know about an insurance company is what you see on television. If you have ever been forced to make a claim after being injured in an auto collision, there are no jokes, no geckos, no cavemen, no professional athlete endorsers. Just you against a giant insurance company that is represented by skilled adjusters and attorneys who have one job: pay as little as possible. If you've been injured in a collision, please contact an experienced attorney as soon as possible after the collision. I, of course, want you to call me, Jason Thompson. My number is 210-900-0400. That's 900-0400. Or go to my website, alawyerforus.com. That's all one word, alawyerforus.com.
This is for the men who never settle, the ones who believe only quitters end a game in a tie, the type of guys who choose the bar with the biggest TVs to overcompensate for theirs at home. This is the Lodge mentality. This is Twin Peaks.
Step up your lunch game at Twin Peaks. Light and hearty combos put together for you starting at just $7.99, featuring savory soups, crisp salads, and a variety of sandwiches to satisfy every craving. Enjoy your next lunch break at Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, and those scenic views.
Exergen would like you to know about an important new study by the FDA. It confirms what the medical community has always known. Non-contact thermometers are not accurate, and they fail to meet FDA requirements for accuracy in labeling. With new strains of COVID on the rise, we can't afford to tolerate rampant false temperature readings from non-contact thermometers. Accurate temperature measurements are essential. You need Exergen thermometers because they are accurate and backed by over 100 clinical studies. Be sure. Be accurate with Exergen. Learn more at Exergen.com.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
From the QC Kinetic Studio.
One team, one mission. KZDC, San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN, AM 1250 and 94.5 FM. Joe Reinagel, Jason Minix, The Blitz.
It is The Blitz here on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250, 94.5 FM. I'm Jason Minix. He is Rudy J.
Yes, sir. What's up, man?
What's going on?
I can't call it. My uncles would say.
Your mic seems low to me. Does it seem
low
to you?
Maybe I just don't yell.
Well, I mean, you're following Reinagel. I mean, it's like a hockey line change, man.
Yeah, I know, right? That's the second line shift is in 6 to 7. What's up? How y'all doing?
Dude, we're fantastic, man. I mean, we're out here at Texas Cheer Liquor, number 4.
Why are you
over
drinking
on
water?
Palo Alto because I'm working.
Don't give me that, man.
I'm working.
Dude, we're not even on StreamYard. Have a drink.
We're working.
Okay.
Hey, y'all.
I'm actually clocked out.
Yeah, and you know how great Shelton is.
Shelton is a stickler.
Yeah, he'll turn you in. He's got photos. There's people here, I mean, and the fact that your Diet Coke kind of looks like Blanton, he might set you up and try to blackmail you at some point.
This is sweet tea. This is sweet tea.
And I know they've got, and they actually carry here the Gold Peak sweet tea if you want to get it to go, which is fantastic. And it kind of resembles Blanton. So that's part of it.
What was that y'all made me drink?
What? I didn't make you drink anything.
I was told that until he wouldn't give me any bourbon until I tried the strawberry cream.
Oh, that's
moonshine.
That's Reinagel's drink. Reinagel on his way to the airport, dude. Thank you, guys. Yeah, you know where to put the money. Send me the tickets. Yeah, exactly.
Rock star.
Oh, he is. He is a rock star. And the sake that they're trying. Did you try that?
It was good.
Yeah,
it was really good. Out of the Dallas-Fort Worth area.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
A lot of stuff coming out of the Dallas-Fort Worth area.
There is a lot of news coming out of the Dallas-Fort Worth area too. And hey, D, can I talk to you about what you were saying earlier about the airport? Is that public knowledge? All right. So I was today's, what's the saying? I was today years old. I was today's years old when I learned that you're allowed to take, like if you come by Texas Cheer and you get the little small bottles, the shots, you're allowed through TSA security, if they are in a Ziploc bag, 8 shots, 8 of those little bottles.
I thought they made you pour it out. I've seen young ladies chugging at the security thing because they're like
bigger bottles, but there's the smaller. But I did not know that was a thing. Then you realize,
so I could take 8 of these.
You could take 8. Look at you, whip it right out of your pocket.
First
Absolutely.
Of all, listener bought this for me. I didn't steal this.
Yeah, I think you did. You could take 8 of those,
and I could drink them on the plane.
No, hang on. So in the Ziploc bag, the TSA, according to AD, will let you through there with the Ziploc bag. They sell the Ziploc bag here.
Nice.
That's why it's like, man,
is that why I was wondering why Joe had so many shots? Is that what it was? Joe just walked out of here with about 10 shots. I was like, what? Why?
Yeah, don't tell anybody.
Oh, my bad, Joe.
But
they were closed.
But the but the interesting part though is
finish this
when you get on the airplane. Like I fly Southwest a lot.
Yeah, you missed the Southwest.
They tell you you're not allowed to drink the alcohol that you may have brought.
Right.
And I always thought, well, if I'm at the airport bar, they don't give me that to go. So I don't know what they're talking about. So apparently that's the connection
true.
to the rule is you are allowed to take 8 shots per person, and as long as it's in a Ziploc bag. I guess you just can't hand them randomly in your bag.
So that's 16 if you're traveling with your wife.
Yeah.
So that means when she walks away, I shoot. I shoot. And then when she walks away again, I shoot again.
Well, she understands how math works.
Yeah.
But then obviously, I mean, if you buy, a bottle of water at the store or a soda or whatever, you mix what you want. And, it's like, it's almost like the airlines are like, you're not allowed to do that, wink, wink, but here's how you do it.
As much as you travel, I can't believe you didn't know that.
I kind of feel that's why I wanted to talk about it. I didn't know it was like that part of the secret handshake that if you know, you know.
It's like those underground clubs that you don't know about. You got to knock and you got to have a certain knock.
I don't know about those.
Yeah, they have them in Austin, like the hidden bars where you got to know.
Well, there's one.
The password.
Right downtown, too.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is it a swinger spot?
A swinger spot? No.
Oh.
It's not one of those.
Oh.
It's just a... Look at that. Greg Shelton. He knows you.
He knows
he just handed you 16 bottles of Fireball. Let's just go get on a plane and go to Vegas. It leaves at 8, according to Ryan Eagle.
I'm down. I haven't been to Vegas in a while.
I'm there in a month.
Yeah, I know. You're turning 41?
Sure, I'll go with that.
Oh, I thought I'm being serious.
Yeah, I'll go with that.
Okay.
I'll go with that.
AD can't travel.
80.
He got a baby.
Yeah, he's got a baby.
He's stuck because he normally you ever seen that hot tub in the middle of Iceland? He's been in that thing. Where it's like freezing cold outside, but the pool of you've never seen that?
Yeah.
What is it called?
The Blue Lagoon.
You ever been in there?
I have not.
Bucket list.
I've been to Greenland, but I've never been to Iceland.
Was that with the Navy?
Yes. I've been to a lot of places with the Navy.
Yeah, man.
Never been to Iceland. But yeah, I didn't know that you could take shots.
No, I didn't. But
through TSA security.
But now it makes sense why they say that in the briefing.
Yeah.
I always wondered. I was like, dude, we can't even bring liquor. Why are y'all telling us this?
Yeah, because you can't. But you didn't know.
I didn't know.
And it surprises me now knowing that they don't sell it that way.
If I'm the airport, I'd sell Ziplocs full of 8 shots.
Absolutely. I mean, I'd have them packaged ready to go. And again, especially if you're going to Las Vegas. I don't necessarily need it coming back from Las Vegas because typically my liver is screaming at me saying, stop for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need, drinks as much on the way back from Vegas, but going to, especially if you're getting there late, you got to feel like you've got to play a little catch up. If the,
catch up for sure.
Yeah. Flight leaves at 8. You're landing in Vegas at 9, room by 9:30, 9:45. You need to already have a head start.
So let's say I get to my gate a little early. That 8 Ziplocs, can I start drinking them at my gate? Okay.
Well,
Okay.
Yeah, you can do what
Just
you want.
not on
there.
the plane.
They tell you don't open it on the plane. So you got to be sneaky if you are.
Gotcha.
And a late flight, at least it's dark. So,
Nice. Now I know. And knowing is half the battle. Was that G.I. Joe?
I was today's year old when I learned that.
And knowing is half the battle.
That's exactly what it is.
Joe. AD is the American hero.
He's the hero of the day for me.
Hero. And shout out to Hiro Saki. Because sometimes like we go and spend money on drinks and we don't need to. Like you will go and you want to look cool at the sushi spot and you buy all the sake. Sometimes have the sake at home, then go buy sushi.
Yeah,
and you cut your bill in half. Spoken like a true tight ass.
Well, I mean, and to speak of, I mean, I was talking about, I was talking
about with some Hiro Saki.
I was talking about this earlier with Ryan Eagle because, at the last party that I had at the house, he was like, dude, all you offered me was beer. And I was like, well, you didn't look around. There's plenty of alcohol over there on the one counter.
You don't tell them about my stash.
Well,
that is for me. You told me that's like, yo, Rudy, when you come over, I have liquor that I don't touch. It's for you. And then you go and tell Joe about it?
Oh, no. It's you have your bottle of Crown that's yours, that you hide somewhere in the house that only you know about. There's another bottle of Crown there that everybody else can drink out of, but you're so damn cheap because you brought it. You don't want to share with anybody else. If somebody wants Crown at my house, they can drink the Crown I bought. But the Crown that you bought is only for Rudy.
Hide mine.
Dude, and he marks it on the bottle
No,
like
I
so.
don't.
he knows exactly where it was and then dates it. So
like put a line.
Yeah, like here's where it is.
How tall are you?
Exactly. I mean, it just reminds me of when I was a kid and you'd fill it back up with water. It's like.
And I wanted to thank you.
Thank me?
Yeah, if you letting Miss Minix hang out with us on Wednesday night.
Oh, I don't let her do anything. She does what she wants.
Yeah, she came out to my wife's fashion show.
Yeah,
we had a good little time.
Yep, that's I heard.
We had a good time.
I heard.
She even bought some stuff.
I know.
She was like, "Yeah, I want to look nice for Jason in Vegas." I was like, "Oh,
yeah,
he owes me that. He owes me."
I mean, we're all friends. We support each other.
I appreciate it.
You'd
be surprised. So it's not normal. It's not normal. Friends don't always support you. Trust me.
It's interesting though because she was talking about some of the things at the fashion show, right? And
there was a lingerie line. There was a bikini line.
Well, and then she was like, "No, it's for you." She kept trying to say, "Like Rudy, you should get those pants for LA."
Yeah, you
were looking at her like crazy.
You gonna wear that outfit right there to the cigar party? I was like, not a chance.
Well, what are you gonna wear? Because I was giving you some crap yesterday. So I figure I'll tell you to your face because I'm that kind of guy.
What did you say about me?
If I talk about you behind your back, I'll talk about you in front of you.
He does. San Antonio, Jason does not have a filter.
No, I do. But I don't talk about people behind their back.
I appreciate it. So tell me to my face.
Well, somehow we got on to fashion.
Yes.
Somehow. And I'm the last person to talk about anybody's fashion.
Me too.
Well, no, you're a very fashionable guy.
I try to.
Well, sort of. And that's where it was going. And again, I'm a blue polo or half zip kind of guy. If I'm dressing up, I take a sport coat and add it to my blue polo and my jeans and my tennis shoes. I mean, that's about the extent for me, right?
What did you say about me? Just get to the point.
Well, somebody brought up sweatsuits.
Oh my gosh, I wear 1,000. That's all I wear.
And you wear a lot, and you were wearing one yesterday. And as I say, Rudy is the only guy I ever see wearing a full sweatsuit. That
matching color.
That matching. I mean, the top and the bottom, the full sweatsuit. The only other place I've ever seen that is little old dudes that are walking at the mall.
Oh.
Outside of that, nobody wears a matching sweatsuit.
Well, the thing is, I don't wear the gray sweatsuit. I have a gray one, but if I wear the gray one, I have to be with my lady.
The gray one with your lady?
But yeah, because, some of us, when we wear gray sweatsuits, it could get a little revealing. You know what I'm saying? And God took care of me.
Oh, bragger.
I'm kidding.
No, yeah, but you wear schmedium. I understand that. I mean, you just don't want to get excited in the gray suit. I get you.
I'm just kidding, man.
I know you're kidding.
5'8". God, and I wear a size 10 shoe. God didn't bless me that much.
Unless you're wearing a gray suit.
Look at my little hands.
Unless you're in a gray suit.
Look at these little hands. I got little hands, little feet.
Uh-huh.
And I'm 5'8".
Uh-huh. She ain't complaining.
It ain't Nick Foles.
She ain't complaining.
Yeah. It ain't Nick Foles.
You got 3 kids. It's all good.
It works.
That's all that matters.
Yeah. Ew. Transition.
That was him.
Edwin. You all right?
Edwin's turning red right now.
Only time Edwin talks is when the Brewers are playing. That's the only time I've seen him get excited. When the Brewers are playing.
The Brewers?
He's a Brewers fan.
Like the Milwaukee Brewers?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
When have you ever been around him when the Brewers were playing?
He was just getting hired when they were in the playoffs, right? They were one and done.
Yeah, they were
one and done.
They were bad.
Yeah.
All right, so R&R this morning. As you guys were what do
you got? Audio? That looks like audio. Did I say something that you have?
Oh no.
Oh.
What did you do this morning?
I don't know. What's up with R&R? What happened?
Well, I was going to say, I mean, we find out during R&R.
Oh yeah.
That Jerry was going to go on 105.3 The Fan.
It was random.
Very, very random. I'm curious, because obviously you guys were done about the time he was getting started. So in anticipation of what you thought he was going to say versus what he ultimately did, his appearance this morning, his surprise appearance, if you will, was it what you thought it was going to be?
Yeah, to me, I think he's doing damage control because the thing about it is if he doesn't do that, this is the team that Mike McCarthy couldn't control when he had the job fully. So if you go into a season where he's a lame duck, those 14 penalties turn into 18. You know what I mean? Like, you're not going to play all out for a coach that you know is done. So I think what Jerry did right now is like, hey, guys, that's still your coach. I don't want to hear this Sean Payton stuff. I don't want to hear this Dan Quinn stuff. That's your coach. I expect you to go out there and be professional and give it your all. A lame duck coach ends up being 7-10.
Is he still not going to be a lame duck coach next year? I mean, does Jerry have to come out after the opportunities he had last week,
right,
to confirm Mike McCarthy was going to be the coach moving forward? When he called in last week, he was angry.
He was upset.
And he would not commit.
Right, he was upset.
What was all right? The guys I have under contract, they're under contract right now. Yeah, that doesn't mean you won't be under contract. I mean, and you go from there. So he did want to make sure everybody knew that Mike was the head coach.
What clear up is that the idea of Mike being twisting in the wind just wasn't the case at all.
It was.
They're trying to keep Dan Quinn and trying to maintain continuity on our coaching staff.
Yeah, I'm not buying it. You left your head coach twisting in the wind.
He was twisting. He was twisting like, what are those, wind chimes?
Sure.
All you heard was Mike McCarthy on the porch. Ding, ling, 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 ling. He was a wind chime for 2 weeks. He was a wind chime for 2 weeks. And what he did right now is he just put out, sometimes you'll see the firefighters on the access road, and they'll just be putting out a little that's what he did this morning. He put out a little grass fire because a grass fire that he started.
Well, that's it.
He didn't give him the vote of confidence until this morning.
Well, and again, he's trying to say that they were trying to play a little damage control, if you will, to keep Dan Quinn as the head coach. Playing a little nobody is buying it, and really he's the one that created it.
But it was never an issue with me, with Mike being the head coach. You've never heard that from me.
Yeah, well, we didn't hear. Yeah, he's my guy.
You've taken the fact that I was sitting there being coy, you've taken that and interpreted, not you, but it was taken as though I were somehow wishy-washy. And just because you're frustrated doesn't mean that somebody necessarily is going to lose a job.
Well, again,
but silence speaks volumes. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Silence speaks volumes.
It's what he didn't say. And we said that Sunday night when they lost to the San Francisco 49ers. It's what he didn't say.
Too. So I'll take that. I hate him too.
It's what he didn't say.
Right.
And then what he did say, and then what he didn't say. So he made it seem obvious. And again, he has said, dude's going to be 80 next year. He doesn't have many years left on this planet, and he wants to win while he's alive. He wants to see he wants to hold another Lombardi trophy. He can't be patient with Mike McCarthy like he was with Jason Garrett.
You know what's crazy? It's crazy to see him be patient with Mike McCarthy, but run Jimmy Johnson out. That just lets you know someone's grown. Well, he's grown because as the older we get, we understand our temperament. And Jerry understood it. Like, Jerry was hot. Like, if old Jerry fires Mike McCarthy Sunday night, not even Sunday night, Sunday early evening,
Monday morning. I don't care.
Monday morning. Yeah, he fires him early, so he kind of knew, like, you know what, I'm going to take a breather. I'm not going to say anything. He canceled his interview. Remember that Friday?
Yeah,
and he took some time. So Jerry's grown. I know he's almost 80, but growth is growth. And Jerry grew a little bit because he wanted to fire Mike that day.
Yes, but he wasn't going to make a knee-jerk reaction. And you wonder how much a Stephen or a Will McClay played into that. And I do think, you go
both played into it.
And also, who's out there that's better? Well, at the time, who was better than Mike McCarthy at the time?
Nobody.
Could it have been Dan Quinn, who went and interviewed for, a lot of jobs? It sounds like
offered any?
Well, I
said this morning I felt like he didn't. Rob was like, "No, you're crazy."
Well, timing is everything, and until Dan Quinn actually tells us, we knew he interviewed twice with Denver. They announced their head coach.
Twice with the Bears.
You interview with the New York Giants. He grew up rooting for the Giants. I didn't know that. He's a New Jersey guy. He grew up rooting for the Giants.
Okay.
They hired Brian Daboll today, the offensive coordinator, and with that offense and the issues they have with Daniel Jones, it seemed odd that they were looking at a defensive minded coach for that for that one. So I also look at Dan Quinn, and he's still getting paid by the Atlanta Falcons.
What?
So, yeah, Arthur Blank's still paying him because they got fired while under contract. And Arthur Blank will have to continue to pay him unless he becomes a head coach somewhere else. So Denver historically hires first-year coaches. They don't command as much salary. So was Denver, if they were talking about a real job, was the salary where Dan Quinn would have wanted it? To not only the money I'm going to make, but the money I'm going to lose from Arthur Blank, because that SOB is going to give me every penny coming my way. I'm not going to help him out. He fired me, right? You know, I don't know if he's got that bone in his body, or did Jerry Jones money whip him? You know, before you take a job over there, come see me. What did they offer you? I'll get you more. Because now he's talking about defensive coordinator for years to come. Well, that's BS. Next year he's going to be, if the Cowboys have a good season, he's going to be on the interview circuit again.
Yeah. You know what? You kind of sound like you're pretty much saying exactly what Rob said. Rob was like, I don't know if he gave him a Benz or whatever, but
it's more than a Benz.
Yeah, he told Dan that I got a little bit more money for you. Sit here. And I can't believe, like, he may be older, but he's still cocky. Like, yes, it's better to be the Cowboys defensive coordinator than it is to be a head coach for the Jaguars.
Well, again, I don't think the Jaguars are ever in play. Situation tells you that. But, you know, if you're the head coach of the New York Giants, if I'm Jerry, hey, you want to go have that job? You see Daniel Jones? You really
want that job?
You really want Danny Dimes for because you're going to get fired in 3 years. You know, last guy didn't even make 2, right? Or you want to be here for multiple years.
Was it Mora? Who's the owner?
Oh, John Mara.
John Mara, when he says that we're going to keep Daniel Jones, that doesn't fit Dan Quinn.
No, and it also says you better bring in an offensive coordinator that might be able to fix him. But again, what the owner says today might be different than what he says 2 months from now.
Absolutely.
Because that same owner in John Mara said that they want nothing to do with Deshaun Watson because of his legal issues. BS.
You don't believe that?
Hell no.
I believe him.
Why?
Because that's a big deal. Again, I don't know what happened. I wasn't there. I wasn't there. I don't know what happened. But when there's 22 people saying you did something, that's a scary hire.
But if the grand jury comes back and does not file one criminal complaint against him,
then there's a whole new ball game.
Well, and that's where, because right now he's, what was it? He's got 2 or 3 left to take the money, and it all goes away. I mean, in the reality, he's kind of creepy. So he's got fetishes. He's got
big time. But so does Robert Kraft.
So you're saying, what was legal? I just know if you can get Deshaun Watson, you're going to take Deshaun Watson. And if the legal stuff goes away, and it certainly looks like right now that is going to be the case. You got a couple more that need money, or you're waiting for the grand jury stuff
right now
to come with it. John Mara is going to say, yeah, because he said cap space and legal issues.
Yeah, he said cap. He said we can't afford them.
Yeah, you got accountants that can make that work.
Yeah, you cut 6 third-string linebackers and you figure it out.
And again, you make some trades, you do stuff, you rework some contracts. If you can get Deshaun Watson, you get Deshaun Watson. It's BS to say, especially when you haven't hired a head coach yet. Yeah, we don't want that guy. Everybody out there's probably 6 teams that say, you know what, our quarterback right now, we're good. Everybody else is going, wait, we can get Deshaun Watson? And that also is John Mara saying they want 3 1s and 3 2s. No. How about 2 1s and 2 2s and a third? They're negotiating in the media.
I agree with that. Great point.
Everybody's going to want Deshaun Watson.
How many jobs are left, Jason? Who we got? The Dolphins, the Raiders. How many jobs are left? You know offhand?
Dolphins,
Minnesota,
Raiders, Texans, Minnesota. Although I think Minnesota is probably pretty close.
Who are they waiting on? All 4 of these teams that are left in the playoffs? Who are they waiting on? I've never seen it take this long.
Oh, it takes a while.
Okay.
And Josh McCown's got to go, finish interviewing people. Dude, who the hell knows, man? It's the Texans. Jacksonville's job is still open.
I think Jeff Traylor could be in running for the Jacksonville job. Nobody wants that job.
No, I think a lot of people are going to want that job.
Why?
Trevor Lawrence.
Look,
Trevor Lawrence and the millions that come with coaching an NFL team. even for 3 years.
Mac Jones outplayed him throwing 3 passes a game. We don't know who Trevor Lawrence is.
I know what I saw from Trevor Lawrence at Clemson.
Clemson ain't Sunday.
I'm with you there, but he had a better squad around him at Clemson than he did in Jacksonville.
Very true.
You know, the way that whole thing was put together is just bad, just brutal.
Yeah,
just brutal. They'll figure it out. We'll end up with the hires in the right place.
Okay, I agree with you. You think Josh McDaniels leaves New England? I know he's interviewing for the Raiders gig.
We'll see.
I think he likes being underneath that wing. He's like, it's kind of comfortable under here. It's like nice and cozy under the Belichick wing.
You know, there are people that want to drive everywhere. There's other people that are cool being in the passenger seat.
I'm a passenger seat guy.
That's what I'm
saying.
saying.
Driving.
Well, it's because you fall asleep 3 minutes into a ride.
Yeah, if you're gonna insult me, I could just go drink.
It's true. I'm not insulting you. I'm telling you. I mean,
no, it's the truth.
I
don't know what I'm gonna do in LA, Jason.
You're gonna sleep more than the rest of us. Because you're gonna get all those little naps in the car.
But we're on air at 5 a.m. in LA, bro. and Rob told me today, he's like, dude, me and Jason normally sleep till almost noon.
No, that's not true.
That's what he told me today.
That's like you saying me telling people you're drinking Blanton's on the air right now. That's not true.
Greg, Lance, I would never.
Ever.
I don't care what Shelton tells you.
It's
and Edwin, we stick together.
That's Ice Tea.
Together. No,
it is the Blitz here on San Antonio Sports Star. Live out at Texas Cheer Liquor, number 4 down here on Palo Alto. Here till 7 o'clock tonight. We're going to talk about the Super Bowl in LA coming up. And the Spurs, man, they play tonight.
I got an interesting email I want to talk about Super Bowl.
Really?
You got it.
Oh,
we'll talk about it.
Oh yeah.
That's what we call a tease.
You've
been on air since 62. You know that was a tease. That's what I was saying today when I was promoting this. I was like, if y'all haven't, I was like, go meet Joe. Because I was like, if you haven't met Minix, then you're just not trying. He's been on air for forever.
Wow.
You had to have met Minix. Everybody knows Minix.
He's the OG.
He is the OG. Jason Minix is the OG.
Stop.
What was your FM radio name?
Which one?
Bone Stiller.
What
was it? Bones
Laden Stone?
Yeah.
Or Jay Miles. I was Jay Miles on KZEP and
What
KJ.
is Jay Miles?
Jay Miles? Jay Miles?
He's drinking Uncle Near's. You know a fun fact on Uncle Near's?
Well, tell me.
Black owned.
Okay.
It's almost Black History Month. I'm gonna be hitting y'all. It's almost Black History Month. What's that? Oh, okay.
We'll get it. More from Texas Cheer here on the Blitz with Rudy J and Blanton.
Sweet tea
coming up after he drinks that. Don't do that. Don't do that. You know, if you've struggled with dental problems all your life, you need to go see Dr. Mark Havercorn over at River City Oral Surgery. If you've had cavities followed by fillings, more fillings, root canals, crowns, only to have that pain come back, stop spending lots of money at the dentist every few years and just to see that work fail. Dental implants at River City Oral Surgery could be a solution. And at River City Oral Surgery, they offer direct patient care. Prices are listed right on the website, rivercityoms.com. And all those prices, that's everything start to finish. Your exam, x-ray, post-op care. They do offer financing. What they won't take is your insurance, but they will help you file a claim, and maybe you get some money back. And even if you have dental insurance, chances are River City OMS is going to save you a lot of money, and you don't need a referral. You just call and make an appointment, 210-778-0002 for River City Oral Surgery, online at rivercityoms.com. We'll find out about Rudy's email when we come back after this Sports Center update from Carl Schoening.
Thank you, Jason. The San Antonio Spurs tip off in about an hour against the Chicago Bulls, returning to San Antonio for the first time after 3 seasons in the silver and black is DeMar DeRozan. DeRozan is averaging his second highest career points per game at 26. The Bulls are also currently second in the East with a 30-17 record. In international soccer, the United States men's national team defeated El Salvador last night in World Cup qualifying 1-0. Anton Robinson scored the game's only goal for the Americans in the 52nd minute, getting the United States 3 points. The next match for USA will be in group play leading Canada this Sunday at 2:05 against Honduras on February 2nd is the third game in a week. And I'm Carl Schoening for San Antonio Sports Star.
Guys, stop what you're doing. Give me a few seconds of your time and let me give you a piece of advice that will change your love life forever. Have you noticed you've been losing a little pep in your step? Has your lady friend asked you, is everything okay? Do you find yourself having trouble rising for the occasion? Do you stress out before that special moment and wonder, is it gonna work? Guys, I'm going to let you in on a big secret. You don't ever have to worry again. The Mojo Male Enhancement Formula has you covered. Mojo is the 100% guaranteed male enhancement formula that guarantees lasting success, if you know what I mean. The Mojo Male Enhancement Formula is safe, natural, and effective every single time, guaranteed. Mojo is available in a fast-acting spray and a quick-action capsule. Do yourself and her a favor and call Pure Line Nutrition in San Antonio today. They'll get you set up for success. Call 210-494-2210. That number again is 210-494-2210. Mojo Male Enhancement, only available at Pure Line Nutrition.
Individual rates, coverage offerings, and savings may vary, subject to terms and conditions. Not available in all areas. Small businesses are the backbone of America. Yet when it comes to workers' comp insurance, you rarely get the savings you deserve. That's because insurance companies tend to lump you in with other businesses, and you can get overcharged. At Pi Insurance, we're on a mission to change that. With Pi, you get a quote specific to your business, and you could save up to 30% with no hassle and no hidden fees. If you like savings, take 3 minutes to see how much you could save at trypi.com. Pi makes workers' comp insurance as easy as pie, with friendly representatives just a call away. No wonder customers rate our service excellent on Trustpilot. You work hard to build your business and keep your employees safe. You deserve more from your workers' comp provider. See how much you could save with Pi Insurance. Ask your agent for Pi or get a quote today at trypi.com. That's trypie.com.
Get some green cash, money, money, money when you bring us your old or used Kubota equipment. That's dinero in your pocket. Or trade in for a brand new Kubota compact tractor, Kubota construction equipment, or whatever else you might have on your Kubota wish list. Breaking up is hard to do, but we're talking green, baby. So don't miss out on the Ewald Kubota Trade Orange for Green cash offer going on now. From the Gulf of Mexico to the hill country of Texas, Ewald Kubota is your Kubota dealer.
Guys, did you know that starting around age 30, men's testosterone levels can decline naturally? As a result, you may experience low energy, lack of focus, problems in the bedroom, or even depression. If that's you, then it's time to rethink your health. The solution? Testosterone replacement therapy with Synergenics. It's easy. Just take the test at one of our clinics in the San Antonio area. For more info and to schedule an appointment, head over to 800lowt.com today and get your life back.
Was the guy driving the company van next to you too busy taking the infamous car selfie for his dating app when he wrecked into you? He's still single, but now you're seriously hurt. If you or a loved one is hurt in a wreck with an 18-wheeler or company vehicle, don't call just any dude. Call the dude, the personal injury dude. Mark Poling at Poling Law PLLC at pidude.com. That's pidude.com. Or call 210-201-0303, 24 hours a day.
Get serious. Get sports here. San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM.
It is the Blitz here on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250, 94.5 FM. I'm Jason Minix, Rudy J from R&R in the Morning, hanging out with us here at Texas Cheer Liquor number 4 down on Palo Alto. We're here till about 7 o'clock. Plenty of free samples, and the BS has already begun. You ever just want to start an argument? One dude over here says Dak's trash. Other dude, no, man, he's top 10.
It's on in
and
here.
Everybody
It's
in the
on
store.
in here.
There were people that jumped in the argument. I didn't know were in the building, man. I have no idea.
It's on up in here.
It's nuts.
You mix sake and quarterbacks, and you got a fun time.
Well, I mean, that's it. So hold on. Hold on.
Hey.
See, but it's all love when it's all said and done, although you're an idiot. Dak is fantastic, right?
Go Spurs.
Yeah. That guy over there, he's the smartest guy in the room. You know I knew he was smart? Because when he said, do you want some sake samples? He said, yes. She said, do you want it with mix or without? He said, both. See, that's a guy that knows how to get two samples.
So you calling a guy smart that walked to the best looking person in the room?
It said both.
Is that smart?
Well, again,
that's smart.
It's exactly what it is. See, now he's going to walk back up there like she's never seen him before.
He went to the back and did 10 push-ups.
Uh-huh. And he looks like he can actually do 10 push-ups.
I can't.
I know. All right. So
what's up?
All right. So you think Dak is trash?
No.
Oh, I heard that.
I said he's not. I said Dak needs the perfect storm to be swell. Like, meaning like the offensive line has to be playing well. The defense has, like, keep in mind, his best games were against Washington, Philly, the Giants, against teams that are terrible.
Absolutely.
And while I like Dak, I don't love him. Like, Dak's the one who's like, you know what? I kind of want to marry her, but she scares me. Jason, you're not all the way sold on him either. Be real.
Dude, I am a romosexual.
Me too.
Right? And I was a romosexual when being romosexual wasn't cool, right? I mean, because that's a guy that divided the fan base.
Mm-hmm.
And Dak Prescott is getting to that point. Although, if Romo would have had a game like he did against San Francisco, they would have burned his house.
Thank you.
And Dak doesn't get that, right?
He's coddled.
Dude, you're starting to sound like Joe Reinagel.
Is it too early?
To what? Coddle him?
No, I mean, is it... am I asking too much of him too soon?
No, I mean, he's 6 years in the league. But when you look at it, and again, what I'm about to say, I know you could go, well, Mahomes or Josh Allen.
I won't compare him to those guys. Those guys are in a different class.
But a lot of these quarterbacks, they hit their stride in their 30s. Right.
That's true.
And
because Tom wasn't Tom. Those first three rings, Tom was handing the ball off and throwing 6-yard slants.
And had a great defense.
Yes. He wasn't. And same with Russell, same with Ben Roethlisberger.
Dak last year, now granted, snapped a leg early, but he put up great numbers while he was whole, and they were losing games because that defense was historically bad.
True.
This year, the offensive line was trash. And so you could say, yeah, things have to be perfect for him. Well, you saw what happened to Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl last year when he didn't have an offensive line. I mean, the great Patrick Mahomes couldn't do anything. I mean,
ran 400 yards backwards.
Exactly. So
you're right.
Yeah, things do have to be, I don't know, perfect, or that people got to block them up. The offensive line was there. So yeah, you could say, well, you're just making excuses for Dak Prescott.
Mm-hmm.
Can he lead this team to a Super Bowl?
Do you feel that?
I think Dak has all the tools, and he's got the leadership ability. He can make all the throws, but this year, especially late, and I don't know if it was because of the offensive line or what, but where were the shots downfield? After he came back from the injury, he was not the same player.
No, he wasn't. And as bad as Aaron was this past Sunday, he still managed to get the ball to his number one receiver.
And he forced it. That's
the only thing that bothered me about Dak. Like, dude, you got CD. Like, how does he get one catch?
But he tries to throw it to the open guy. I mean, Dak Prescott throws it to the open guy. Could be the quarterback. It could have been. It was
Schultz. Schultz was his favorite target.
Exactly. And, I look at, Green Bay lost to San Francisco because Aaron Rodgers was trying to force the ball to Devontae Adams late. You look at some of those plays late in that game.
Mm-hmm.
You saw Scantling was open. You saw Cobb was open, yet, double or triple covered. I'm throwing it to the guy I trust,
Devontae,
right? And
it's crazy because you held them hostage for Randall Cobb, and then you only throw it to him one time.
Exactly. Dude, I didn't really want to throw you the ball. I just wanted to help you get paid. And that's kind of how it felt like he did. I don't know. But when I look at Dak, is he an elite quarterback? No. He's not in that top tier group.
Right. Not yet.
Is he in that second tier?
I think so.
Yes.
I think so.
Does that put him in the top 10? Yes. I think statistically this year he finished at number 9.
Okay.
But I would say, when you look at the quarterbacks that are in the league, Justin Herbert, a lot of people love Justin Herbert. A lot of people love the potential of Justin Herbert.
Love what yes.
Is he there? Is he there yet? Ryan Eagle will sit and say, man, in that Raiders game, did you see him? I was like, yeah, that guy was money on fourth down, but he couldn't complete a damn pass on first, second, or third, which is why they were in fourth down, right?
Do you like him better than Kyler Murray?
Who?
Dak.
I do.
Yeah, you know what? Kyler has some questions that he needs to answer as well. Because Kyler will look, you're like, wow, this guy has that potential to be top tier. And then the next week it's like, ugh.
Yeah. I mean, and again, Kyler offers a different dimension than what Dak does. And, I think you can say the same with Josh Allen, with the way they run the ball. What scares me about that, when it comes time to invest $100 million into a quarterback that runs the ball,
look,
how beat up is he going to get?
And I mean, Buffalo.
RG3 wasn't the same after he got hurt. You look at Michael Vick, he got $200 million deals, but after injuries, he wasn't the same guy. That's the one thing that worries me about the guys that use their wheels too much.
I tell Buffalo, go talk to Carolina about Cam Newton. Cam Newton, Josh Allen, about the same size.
Yeah.
Eventually, it caught up to Cam.
Yep. Injuries.
So at some point, Buffalo has to get him some running. He can't be leading them in rushing. At some point, those linebackers and safeties, somebody's going to hurt you.
That's it. When you look at top tier, I don't know if I still have Russell in that category.
You don't. I feel like Seattle has failed him as far as offensive line wise.
Maybe, but then why don't you give that same excuse or reason or benefit of the doubt to Dak? I mean, because when I look at DK Metcalf and I look at Lockett, and I mean the receivers are there, and my wife is from Seattle. We watch a lot of Seahawk football, and Russell isn't the same guy. And part of me wonders, is Russell too much now? As Bill Parcells said, when his commandments to quarterbacks, don't be a celebrity quarterback. Well, he's married to a celebrity, and a lot of worries on the offensive side. And he's been to a couple Super Bowls. So, I mean, but Russell isn't the same. And he wasn't one of those top tier quarterbacks this year.
You think he still wants to go to New Orleans now that Sean Payton's retired? He called his agent, scratch New Orleans off the list.
I mean, it depends on who ends up being the head coach. I mean, if they promote Allen and it's a defensive coach who's going to be the OC, it's going to be an interesting offseason because, Deshaun will end up somewhere. And it's funny. All arrows point to Denver. Could Green Bay and Denver make a deal? Aaron Rodgers ends up with the Broncos. Well, the Broncos hired his offensive coordinator in Hackett.
Mm-hmm.
His girlfriend
lives in Boulder.
Boulder. She's a Colorado type, and guys tend to follow.
Especially in the newlywed phase. In the newlywed phase, we're stupid. We're telling them all our secrets. We're pillow talking way too much.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We're spending way too much. Like, get the appetizer. Get the dessert. I know you're not going to eat it. Get it. That's the honeymoon phase. Now, 2 years from now, he might be like, Colorado sucks. And so do you.
Yeah. Well,
the honeymoon phase, we're googly eyed.
But again, it doesn't matter where he is. I mean, he's got a private jet. He'll go to dinner wherever.
That's true.
I mean, the reality is, I mean, there are some things there. I could see Deshaun Watson in Denver.
Me too. Or Miami.
Although
they hate Tua. For whatever reason, they're like, nah, we don't like you, Tua.
Too many Instagram models in Miami for Deshaun Watson. Best place for that guy to go, Pittsburgh.
I like him in Pittsburgh.
And replace Ben Roethlisberger.
I like him in Pittsburgh. I love him in Pittsburgh.
That's where I think that he could.
I love him in Pittsburgh. Great point.
And it keeps him out of the NFC, specifically the NFC East.
Yeah, because I know Philly was in the hunt. Philly has 2 first-round picks, but it seems like they want to give Jalen Hurts a go at it.
Again, if you could get Deshaun Watson, I say bye-bye real quick to Jalen Hurts.
Oh, gosh, that's not a debate. That's not a debate.
I mean, I like you, but look what I got over here.
Would you take Deshaun over Dak?
No.
Yes, you would. Jason Minix. Jason Minix. You've been on this airways on the Blitz. You got loyal listeners on the Blitz.
Mm-hmm.
You've never lied to him.
I've never lied to him. And I'm still not. And I think part of that is because of Dak's contract. I know it would never happen.
Okay. That makes sense.
And again, if in fantasy football, I think I still go with Dak. I know he's typically going to throw for more yards.
It always comes back to fantasy.
Well, kind of.
I
mean, I'm trying to give a scenario in which I might take, if I've got my druthers.
I like him in DC too.
Although
I like him in DC. They got a defense.
That's in the NFC East. That's a no-go.
Oh, okay. I'm just telling you where he
that's
fits.
A no-go. I mean, they got the Heineken guy, man. So they're set.
Heineken guy.
They're set. Who's sponsored by Bud Light. which is the most random thing. Yeah, absolutely. Heineken wouldn't do a deal with them. Bud Light did.
Okay. That's weird.
I do pay attention to stuff.
Yeah, you pay attention to money.
Very, very true.
Yeah.
Which is why we've got to go to break. Yeah, we'll talk about the Spurs as we continue live here at Texas Cheer Liquor, number 4 down here on Palo Alto. Still got time to come by here and get some samples, especially for me and for Rudy, because we're almost done working on this Friday night. Come by and see us here. We got the Spurs in action tonight. It's Pop's birthday. What do you get Greg Popovich on his birthday? We'll talk about that as we continue here on the Blitz. You know, we had the Cowboy breakfast this morning. Rodeo's right around the corner. If you are in a group, if you've got a business, if you're having something going on at the rodeo, you know you're going to need winter gear. You know it's going to be cold at the rodeo. You still got some cold weather days ahead of us, whether you're a business owner, manager, club leader. You need your logo on winter gear. Get into Sammy's Embroidery Club down on San Pedro. Whether you need jackets, coats, hoodies, half zips, beanies, Sam has plenty of inventory in stock, and he's got all the big name brands. North Face, Eddie Bauer, Nike, Port Authority, to name a few. He also has the largest selection of caps, including the popular Richardson style cap. Over 700 uniform lines to choose from, and not just embroidery. Silkscreen shirts as well for any occasion. Sammy's Embroidery and Printing. Nobody has better prices. Sammy has all the big name brands, and he's the only company in Texas with one-day turnaround. Call 210-824-3900, or better yet, get into that massive showroom down on San Pedro. 1 mile inside Loop 410, next to Big Lots across from McDonald's. The website, samsembroidery.com for Sammy's Embroidery Club.
We're ready for y'all.
Let's go!
The NFL playoff picture is coming together.
I like it.
Hear it unfold on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM.
Not all pizza places are the same. Mellow Mushroom originated hand-tossed, stone-baked classic Southern pizza. Not in the mood for pizza? Order a calzone, hoagie, sandwich, burger, or a mellow salad and see how care goes into every item on the menu. Take your pick from 24 draft beers and or handcrafted cocktails. And many of the pizzas can be made gluten-free or vegan. Mellow Mushroom is at 1604 in Stone Oak Parkway. Hang with friends, watch the game, and mellow out at Mellow Mushroom.
And now an important message from Exergen. A critical new FDA study proves that non-contact thermometers are not accurate. They also have inaccurate information on their labels regarding accuracy. New COVID strains are on the rise, and non-contact manufacturers are being irresponsible at a time when accuracy matters. Accurate temperature measurements are essential. Switch to Exergen because they are accurate and backed by over 100 clinical studies. Be sure, be accurate with Exergen. Learn more at Exergen.com.
That dinner was delicious. What's next?
I'm thinking just the check.
Do you frequently have gas, bloating, diarrhea, stomach pain, or loose oily stools after eating? One or more of these symptoms could be a sign of exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI, and it may be time to talk to your doctor.
If you have EPI, Creon may be right for you. Creon, pancrelipase, is an oral prescription medication that treats EPI. Creon replaces enzymes you may be missing to help you break down food properly.
Creon may increase your chance of fibrosing colonopathy, a rare bowel disorder. Do not chew capsules or contents as this may cause mouth irritation. Tell your doctor if you have unusual or severe stomach pain, bloating, trouble passing stool, nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, worsening of painful swollen joints, or allergic reactions. Other side effects may include changes in blood sugars, gas, dizziness, or sore throat and cough. These are not all the side effects of Creon.
Talk to your doctor about Creon, the #1 prescribed EPI treatment, and visit gocreon.com. That's GOCREON.com. Or call 1-800-633-9110.
You could save big when you bundle your home and auto with Progressive, but when we just come out and say it, it feels like it falls a bit flat. So we're going to sing it.
We're singing words now.
We'll even sing the business part.
Save big when you bundle your home and auto with Progressive.
Now that's a commercial you'll remember, even if you don't remember the bundle and save with Progressive part.
We're singing a commercial.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Discount not available in all states or situations.
This is the end of the jingle. A jingle about insurance.
Want a deal you'll love on a Valentine's Day gift they'll love? Shop and save right now at Kohl's. Get 20% off Food Network bakeware, up to 50% off festive pillows and decor, and sterling silver diamond pendants for just $69.99. On top of all that, you can get an extra 15% off and earn Kohl's cash. What are you waiting for? Get to Kohl's and celebrate the special moments for less. Select styles. 15% offer ends January 30th. Some exclusions apply. See store or Kohl's.com for details.
If it's rim wrecking board busting action you want, then come and get it.
Catching a right-hand dunk.
The greatest ballers on earth are doing their thing on the hard court, and we bring it to you. Catch the action on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM.
Don't mind the brake light. We'll get you there. San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN, AM 1250 and 94.5 FM.
And Carl Schiller doing a great job. Ended the show with a little Metallica for Rudy J.
Is Carl doing a good job?
Carl is doing a good job.
I haven't heard him. I can't see him.
He's been playing Pokemon the whole time.
He ditched us this morning.
I regret not bringing my Switch, actually. I did not bring it.
Your Switch?
If you want us to believe that.
And again, Jason's going to see Metallica again in February. And it's like, at this point, like if you're paying still.
Oh, yeah. A lot.
Bro.
What?
What are you up to? What's the count?
23. Yeah, this would be 24.
Jason.
What?
What does Miss Minnick say to this?
Clearly, yes.
I know.
I mean, obviously, she goes. I mean, the only in recent years.
Okay, in 23 concerts. How many have been different?
23.
It's still they're all the same tunes,
I mean, even on the Hardwire tour, I saw them in Houston.
Okay.
On whatever day, and then a couple days later, they played in the Alamo Dome.
And you went to both?
I went to both, and then I got on a plane and went and saw them in Kansas City. A couple months after. Now the NRG Stadium and the Alamo Dome, similar setup, video stuff's different set list. See, Metallica has so many different songs. That typically,
okay, so you're getting a different experience here and there.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the Kansas City concert was one of the more incredible ones because they had a rotating big ass stage. So no matter where you sat, and they kept going different areas on the stage. So like at some point, dude, James Hetfield's right in front of you. Then all of a sudden, Robert Trio's right in front of you, and you're just going around the stage. That was one of the cooler concerts. Absolutely, and part of it is they're celebrating 40 years. Eventually I won't have any more Metallica concerts to go to for obvious reasons.
Real quick, I got an email for a media gathering at Universal Studios Friday night. Pretty cool.
It is. I mean, I'm
not gonna even tell my 13-year-old.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I mean, it's not like you're going to do Universal Studios the way you would if your 13-year-old was with you. You know what I mean? It's like the Super Bowl party in Minnesota was at, I don't know, some theme park inside the Mall of Americas. I have no idea if any of the rides were going or whatever, because just the food and the drink and the celebrity is, you're just there at Universal. And that's one of the cool things about the Super Bowl media parties that they do. It's always at some event that is a major attraction for that city. And then the food, like in New Orleans, it was down on one of the piers where they store all the floats and stuff for the parades, and they had them all out so you could see all that stuff there. In Atlanta, it was at the aquarium.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I mean, it's if you've never been to it, I know you went to the Super Bowl in Houston. Did you go to Super Bowl parties?
No. I went to the one where y'all stole Ray Lewis's cigar.
Oh, so you've been to one cigar party? Well, you don't talk about that.
It wasn't Ditka's. It was at this. Ray Lewis and Sheffield were there. But I haven't gone to the real cigar party. Then you weren't
at the party that we were at.
No.
Yeah. We got 30 seconds to bail out of this.
All right, I'm out. Thanks for having me, man.
Well, I appreciate you coming by. How's the Blantons?
I haven't had any.
Oh, you're ready to get the Blantons.
I haven't had any. I'm going to go out to get some.
I am ready to get the Blantons as well. And if you're looking for Blantons, Texas Cheer will have them next week. I'll tell you Thursday because I need to come get mine on Wednesday before they sell out. So get them on Wednesday. They're going to be here. Have a great weekend, everybody. Carl Shoney.
I can't wait to watch you guys play!
We're ready for y'all.
Let's go!
The NFL playoff picture is coming together.
Let's go! Let's go!
Are you ready?
You gotta go out there every play and earn it!
Hear it unfold on San Antonio Sports Star.
I like it!
We're serving up all the biggest games you can handle.
Dominate on 3, 1, 2, 3, dominate!
Get all the action live on San Antonio Sports Star.
180! Wait up!
ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM.
Hi, everyone. Michael Kielbasa with Kielbasa Smoked Meats here. When you bring a package of our smoked sausage home, keep it simple. It's handcrafted in small batches and fully cooked, so you can just heat it up and enjoy. My favorite way to eat it is on a bun with mustard or wrapped in a tortilla. Try some from a store near you today, and if it's not the best you've ever tasted, I'll give you your money back. Guaranteed. Find Kielbasa at a store near you today.
70% of the Fortune 100 choose Zoom. With phone, chat, workspaces, apps, events, and video in a single platform, Zoom powers all your communications. Large enterprises, small businesses, and individuals use the secure Zoom platform to enable new ways of working, learning, hosting events, and supporting their customers. And now you can save 15% on meetings, chat, and phone with the Zoom United bundle. Visit zoom.com/bundle. Zoom, how the world connects.
This tax filing season could be one for the record books. There are thousands of dollars worth of new tax credits on the table, and Jackson Hewitt will help make sure you get every one you deserve. Tax credits for being a parent, taking care of a parent, taking classes, and so much more. Don't leave thousands on the table. Jackson Hewitt will make sure you get credit for all you do and get your biggest refund guaranteed. Learn more and find your nearest location at jacksonhewitt.com.
Injuries happen, so if you twist, pull, pop, or snap something, you need Dr. David Espinosa at TSAOG Orthopedics. Dr. Espinosa treats all non-surgical orthopedic injuries and has same-day and next-day availability. Telemedicine services are also available. There is no reason to be in pain. If you are hurting, visit Dr. David Espinosa at TSAOG Orthopedics. Learn more at TSAOG.com. That's TSAOG.com, or schedule your appointment by calling 210-804-5490.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
This is for the men who never settle, the ones who believe only quitters end a game in a tie, the type of guys who choose the bar with the biggest TVs to overcompensate for theirs at home. This is the Lodge mentality. This is Twin Peaks.
When I found out my jeans were made using child labor in sweatshops, I wrote a letter to the company saying, reconsider your labor practices. A few months later, I get a letter back saying, thanks for being a loyal customer, and they included a coupon for a 25% discount on their jeans. So I got smart, wrote letters every day to all the stores that carry the brand, asking them to stop supporting the companies who use child labor in sweatshops. And I just kept getting letters back, thanking me for my concerns, and more coupons for more discounts on more jeans. So I'm telling my friend about it, and she flips out, saying that between all the letters and coupons, some paper company cut down a small forest, driving out 2 indigenous tribes, hundreds of endangered animals, killing thousands of plant species, some of which may contain vaccines for HIV, cancer, and syphilis. Meanwhile, the guys cutting down the trees are 13-year-old kids who will work night and day for months just to save up enough money to buy a pair of jeans made by child labor in sweatshops.
Saving the world isn't easy, but saving a life is. Just 1 pint of blood can save up to 3 lives. Visit bloodsaves.com to learn more. This public service announcement was brought to you by the Ad Council.
From the QC Kinetic Studio.
One team, one mission. KZDC, San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN, AM 1250 and 94.5 FM. This is Sports Center.
I'm Kevin Richard. The New York Giants have filled their vacant head coaching position. They give it to Brian Daboll, the Buffalo Bills offensive coordinator since 2018. Now becomes the next head coach in the long line for this historic franchise, which is now in the midst of one of its worst 10-year stretches ever. Daboll's been the OC in Buffalo since 2018. The only offensive coordinator that Josh Allen has ever known in the NFL, and look what he's done for Josh Allen. He's also guided a top 5 offense in Buffalo each of the last 2 seasons, and now Daboll will take over as the head coach of the Giants and will get to work with Daniel Jones. That was something the team owner John Mara had said this week. He wanted consistency. Also with the hiring of Shane as the new general manager last week, the former Buffalo Bills assistant GM. He goes right back to where he knows in Daboll, so this move is not a shock. Bills' current passing game coordinator, Ken Dorsey, is either going to get the offensive coordinator job in Buffalo or will follow Daboll to the Meadowlands to become the offensive coordinator with the Giants. That is most likely. NBA tonight, no LeBron James, no Anthony Davis. LeBron is out for the second straight game, nursing a knee injury. Davis returned this week after missing 5+ weeks with a sprained MCL in his knee. Played back-to-back games, but last night in Philly, suffered a wrist injury in the second quarter. Did play the remaining of the game, but he had that right wrist heavily taped, and he was receiving treatment when he was on the sideline, so he's got the night off of a back-to-back. Hornets, however, doing bad things to the Lakers. 18-5. Hornets have the advantage.